Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. Thanks for being here, you jolly people. All right, we're going to jump right into the rundown. The rundown. Here it is, baby. All right, so let's get back to it. Starting off with question of the week, Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 5, The Return. Non-spoiler and spoiler review. We got some Holonet news, and we'll end it off with the Q&A time, baby. So get your questions in now as we hit the hyperdrive and return to this show. It's going to be great. We can't wait for it. Speaking of returning, Nick is back.
I am.
Say hello, you traumatized terrors of tranquility.
Hello, you traumatized traumatized terrors of tranquility.
I don't know why I wrote that.
And
but
there's Irby.
Irby.
I was gonna say Potty, and I was like, that's not his name. Maybe it is now. He's got a different look about him.
Potty humor like we do here. Stay on target. Sometimes.
He's watching you.
He's always watching.
Always
you,
watching Wazowski.
Wazowski. Name that reference. So you're back. You're back from the dead. Basically.
I mean, I'm still practically dead.
Yeah, dude.
But yes,
you had a rough go of it there for a bit, and that's why he wasn't here, unfortunately. But he is. You're doing at least 70%, right?
At least 68%.
68%. We'll take it. 68.
66.
Oh, order 66.
66. Oh.
You almost got ordered 66.
Yeah, I almost did.
Dang.
That's bad.
Well, we're glad you're back.
Me too.
And the one, the only, you know him, you love him. It's Dan.
It's Dan.
Hi, how you guys doing? I thought you were going to throw it to Rex. Poor Rex. He's always left out.
I'm so sorry,
You
Rex.
don't know him. You
Sorry,
don't love
Rex. I took your thunder.
You did.
I'm the captain now.
Got him.
Look at me.
Look at me. I am the captain now. It's good seeing all you people. It's good seeing you, Rex. It's good seeing you, Nick. I'm glad you're alive in Studio A, and it's going to be an awesome night.
Yeah. It's going to be an awesome night.
It's going to be amazing.
And last but definitely not least, the one who checks the facts, the one who says things that we sometimes disagree with.
Most of the time.
She is fun. She is funny. And she's the fact checker.
I was like, where are you going
way
with
to
this?
end it there. I knew you were
Fun, she's funny.
She makes me lots of money.
Liechtenstein. I almost went there, but I don't know if I should.
that's fine. I'll take it.
What's up, fact checker? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Nice.
You talking to me? You talking to the chat?
Everyone.
Yeah, who you talking to?
All
Specify.
of y'all.
All y'all.
All y'all.
Because I think you ask me how I'm doing, but you don't always ask each other.
No.
So
Guys don't
that's
ask
my
guys how we're doing.
Oh, okay.
You
No,
only
we
ask
just
That's
Great.
my
ladies.
responsibility.
Guys don't have emotions.
We don't.
Sure, that's what you guys like to portray. But
True.
What's wrong with you? I can't see my forehead.
Classic.
Definitely.
That's-
Oh my
That is
goodness.
that is a classic. I love that. That was so
that's
funny.
good.
The first time you ever saw that, though, I was dying laughing.
Right?
When I was just
Most
like,
of the time,
what?
yeah. Whenever you watch the old ones, you're like,
Oh,
classy.
classy.
Class
act.
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 Classic.
Classact.
Wow. Okay.
It's a new Star Wars species.
Class act.
It's like a Lasat
Classact. Yeah.
or
Lasat.
Lasat, yeah. What's a
But it's a
Classat?
classic. It's a
Classat.
it's a classy Lasat.
We are
It's got a
sorry.
monocle and
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, in case you guys were wondering, like, this is how our normal conversations go at San Antonio. Like, when the cameras aren't rolling, this is
Yeah,
exactly how we are.
This is almost exactly.
We're just bringing you real life here. Classact.
Classat.
Like
I'm a
croissant.
And
Like croissant.
Croissant. Croissant.
Croissant. Croissant. Croissant. Croissant.
That's some stay on target lore right there. That was brilliant. And
We
absolutely
love
hilarious.
ourselves.
We love ourselves.
We're so
Wow.
humble at being humble. We're so good at being
We
humble.
just really need a win right now,
We
guys.
Yes, we do.
Sorry you're all here, but we're happy you are here.
Sorry you're all
We are
here.
not sorry.
Sorry you have nothing better to do.
I'm
on
so
a
happy
Wednesday
they're all
night.
here. I'm genuinely excited for the night.
are.
And I had too much coffee already, I can tell.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently, that's what's happening.
Mrs. Manrique said croissant.
Croissant.
Yes.
Yeah.
S-O-N-T.
Croissant.
Just like the
Croissant.
classy Lasat would say, croissant.
I know, but it's stay on
Croissant.
target, Dustin. S-O-N-T.
S-O-N-T.
Croissant.
Oh,
S-O-N-T.
that.
Yes,
Okay, I
yes,
get
yes.
it.
Yeah,
more
get
now.
it, get it.
I did not
Croissant.
get it the first
I know.
time. Wow.
Croissant.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Speaking of Mrs. Manrique, who's with us tonight? Fact checker.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Manrique is definitely
What?
there hanging out.
When did she get here?
She's here.
All right.
And we're happy she's here
Yes, we
along
are.
with
Indeed.
everyone else.
I don't know. Dan said, I'm sorry you're here.
Well, I'm correcting
I'm getting
it.
mixed messages right now.
I'm
The
not
fact checker is always right.
Sorry,
so you
I'm
listen
here.
to me.
Pure facts come out of the
Listen
fact
to me.
checker's mouth every time.
Always. Yep. So, yeah, otherwise, we also have, of course, Hannah, our moderator.
Ah, yeah.
We've got Night Sky, our other moderator, hanging out. Skylark's in here. We've got KG. We've got Icy Stormy. We've got.
What is up?
Yeah, we've
What
got
is up?
Ellie
What is that?
and Kirsten.
Nalase?
And then Aaron Havoc was
What's up?
hanging out with us. He said back when we were talking Mando.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
yes,
What's
I
up,
do
Aaron?
remember.
For the name
So he's
Aaron.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds familiar. Thanks
Yeah.
for joining back
Thanks
in.
for
Give us a
joining back
second
in.
chance.
I know.
What a night to jump in on.
Right.
Yeah, I know. What a start.
We're
I'm
sorry
out.
you're here.
He's like,
No.
now I remember why I left.
Yeah.
It's like, these guys
Don't give him any more reasons
Yeah,
to leave.
sorry. We're just keeping it real, you know?
I
That's
guess.
what we do. Sorry.
Otherwise, we also have Sonia in the chat.
What's up, Sonia?
And Inyaki's hanging out. So we've got a
Inyaki.
great crew. If you're also here listening,
Say
let
Kirsten?
us know. Yes.
Okay.
And we'll give you
Sorry.
a shout out.
I just saw it.
Listen with your ears.
Yeah, not my eyes.
Yeah.
I think I got everyone.
Look.
Did you
Look
say
what they're
croissant?
specialized.
Did you say croissant?
Croissant.
Yes, I did.
Just get more and more French every time you say it.
As the night goes on, we just get more and more French.
Aaron Havoc is the Beskar hand guy, he said.
Best car
Oh,
hand
that
guy.
does sound familiar.
Ringing a bell? Ringing a Beskar bell?
Yes, yeah. It was. I
Ringing
think
a
that was one of the
bell.
questions we
That does
asked.
sound- Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Would it be
Wow, that's crazy.
something?
Okay.
There was a question. And
It was a question and we
There was
answered
a-
it.
Yeah,
We did.
Yep.
Yeah,
It was like
So
a
did
best car
Aaron.
hand or something else.
yeah, like, or,
Which one
or
would
like
you have?
robotic hand. what would it be
Robotic
made out of or
hand.
something. There's some question we asked a long time ago. Speaking of questions, let's get into the question of the
You
week.
sound like you're gonna throw up.
Can you speak bocce?
Of course I can, sir. It's like a second language to me. I'm a
All right,
spirit.
shut up. I'll take this.
Shut up, sir.
Luke!
All right, so hairball. So the question of the week is: in your opinion, what is the coolest looking armor in Star Wars? Not its functionality. Okay, I'm gonna be clear. Yeah, not its functionality. Just pure looks. Okay, I'll give you some examples. You know, there's some Mandalorian armor, some Jedi Clone Wars armor. It's pretty awesome. Just there's a lot of different types you could go with. I don't want to give away too many because people might have their own ideas. So, Nick, now that I've given you at least 1 second to think about this, what is your answer?
Oh boy. Here we go.
Here we go, baby.
Here we go. I don't know. I think I like the Phase 2 Clone Trooper armor.
Yeah,
I like that.
that does
It's
look
classy.
cool.
It's smooth, like silk.
So wait, remind me if it's a phase 1. What's phase?
This is a Phase 1. This helmet
Oh,
here.
okay.
Then the Phase
That's phase 1.
1.
Rex is like, what in the heck is happening?
Phase 2. You gotta look at the. Yeah, there's figurines.
Phase
on
2, they're closer to the Stormtrooper.
Yeah,
armor.
yeah.
It's closer to Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper
armor.
variant.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah.
I like a phase 1 though. I like the sleek lines
The sleek lines.
of phase 1, but
It's like a Rolls Royce of armor.
but yeah, it does look cool. I like that in between. I actually think the clone armor is better than the Stormtrooper armor by
Well, yeah.
far. Like looks, everything.
It was made out of a different material too.
Yeah, it was better
They
material.
actually
that
could
did something.
withstand blaster bolts.
Withstand blaster
right,
bolts.
right.
And then they're like, yeah, let's just get rid of that. You guys got plastic now.
yeah,
Cool.
it's more for looks.
What does this protect us from? Absolutely nothing. Awesome. We look great.
They listened to this question. I think a little
They're
too
like,
literal.
don't worry, nobody's going to be shooting at you. Oh, okay. Cool. All my friends are dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Been to a dark place already. Dan,
Yeah.
what about you?
I really like. I actually like the look of weathered stormtrooper armor. Just the classic white stormtrooper armor. I'm not saying it's functionally the best,
But weathered.
Weathered, yes. I like the look. Anytime it shows up weathered in
Kinda like
Mando or
Mando.
Andor, maybe Andor. But it's just the classic, Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
All right.
It's good stuff.
Fact checker.
Fake chicken.
What do you like?
Kiwi.
Kiwis.
I'll go simple. I mean, Mando armor.
Mando?
Beskar.
Yeah.
What a vanilla answer.
Like
like
Mando himself. You're talking about Din?
What specific?
one that
do you have any
she's wearing right
specifics, like,
now.
that you prefer? Like,
Well, yes, Hannah
ones
did
she's
point
wearing.
out my armor is the best.
It
So
is the
I mean,
best.
That's a
basically,
great
yes,
point.
I agree
Yes.
with that
Honestly,
completely.
I do like capes.
capes
Capes are
cool.
pretty cool.
Capes
Capes
are
are
cool,
Especially
man.
when you see them on like stormtroopers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That combo is
Yeah.
pretty killer.
It is.
What about ponchos?
Not as cool.
Yeah, if it's done right.
Not as cool as capes though, because then you
No.
can't see the armor as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't go all the way
Yeah.
to the floor and show how tall you are.
Now, do you like a full cape down to the ground, or do you like a
Yes.
half
No.
cape?
No, half
Halvesy
cape,
cape?
just looks silly.
Like a Phantom of the
You
Opera
gotta-
cape.
Yeah, you got to do full.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the half cape going over one side that hides your gun hand is a
Okay.
smart
Well,
move
like
Yeah.
Lando,
because they can't
but it was
see you
still
reaching
long.
for it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but yeah, no, I like shiny armor. So like, I mean, my armor's great,
Yours is
but also
kind of
like,
like
Din's super shiny Beskar.
yours
looks
reminds
good.
me of the armorer's kind of armor, but like
Yeah,
more
'cause of the
silver
fur
and shiny.
lining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Silvery.
and also the horns. But
For sure.
yeah, that is pretty dang sweet.
Yeah.
I like the Night Owl armor is pretty cool too. It looks a little bit more feminine. That's why I kind of like
Yeah,
the armor.
that's
and
cool.
the
Sure.
Night Owl armor looks a little
Yeah.
more feminine, which is cool.
Yeah, good point.
Uh,
What about you?
I mean, there's so many different armors to choose from.
I know.
That's the challenging thing, but I would have to say one that's standing out to me, it's kind of rare, is actually the Clone Trooper Senate Guard armor.
Oh, the blue one?
The blue one that
The
has
blue
the
one.
like cool fin thing on it, like it
Like a
looks like a
Spartan.
Spartan.
Yeah.
And I like
Oh.
Spartans, or at least the idea of Spartan the armor anyway. I like the armor. I think it looks
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Mhm.
So that's probably one of my favorites, and it covered a lot. That's what I thought was pretty cool.
Nice.
Again, not really functionality, but if it did something, I'd want armor to cover more of me than less of me.
Yeah.
It should, right?
Yeah.
It's to protect you.
Yeah, for sure. But there's a ton of them out there. I'm sure the chat's
Yeah.
probably firing away.
Oh, yeah.
And if they don't say something I'm thinking of, I might just rattle off a few. But go ahead, fact checker. What are they saying in the chat?
But yeah, right off the get go, Mandalorian armor is very popular.
Heck yeah.
Iñaki and KG.
Yes.
Skylark
So
said,
good.
yeah, Captain Phasma's armor.
Yeah,
she
that,
likes
that was
shiny.
pretty
that.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very shiny.
I wish the
Mhm.
character
Shiny.
turned out better, but the armor was
Wow.
pretty
Yeah, that was
imposing.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
She had a cape.
She did. Yeah.
Very
Cool.
true.
Capes are cool.
Capes are cool. Capes are in.
Yeah. So more Mandalorians. Tamerkin said Bo's armor. So
Bills.
kinda what
the
you were
night
saying.
owl.
If you say Mandalorian, though,
You gotta
be a little bit more
specify.
specific.
well, you didn't say. You just
I'm
said
sorry.
what type of.
I'm altering
You mean,
the
like,
deal.
Well,
Pray
you
I
can't
don't
do that
alter
at
any
this
further.
point.
I'm sorry.
No,
No,
I'm
if
just
you want
kidding.
to, you can throw a follow. But yeah, no, Mandalorian armor is obviously super
Yeah,
cool.
as a whole.
Mandalorian armor.
Oh yeah, Mandalorian's pretty
Yeah.
sweet. It's a
Yeah.
little intimidating, but
is.
it's pretty sweet.
True. Well, also pretty sweet is Jango Fett, which is what Grub Killer said.
Yes.
Oh,
I like
nice.
Jango Fett's armor. Not quite as weathered, obviously, as Boba Fett's armor.
Yes.
I hadn't seen as much, but it is cool. It
Did
is
anybody
cool.
say Boba Fett?
Boba Fett.
I don't know if anybody said
He was
Boba
my
Fett.
second
Boba Fett.
option. This is the
Okay.
classic Boba.
Classic Boba.
Maybe I'm showing my age.
No,
the
Boba
way
Fett-
that Jeremy Irons, wasn't that his name? No, that's the
No,
guy.
that's
Jeremy.
Scar.
Yeah, it's Jeremy something. Anyway, he wore that
Yeah,
armor.
what is his name? Jeremy.
I don't know.
Jeremy
Fast-
British man,
Jeremy British actor man.
and he did a good job wearing it.
Who played the original Mando or Boba Fett? Sorry, Boba Fett.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, he kind of was. It was
Yeah.
based
Original
off of
Mando.
Boba Fett.
Jeremy Bullock.
Bullock, yeah. Yeah, it's just cool looking. Kind of the colors. It was similar to the Mando's original armor look
Yeah.
before the Beskar.
Yeah,
Very similar, right?
Do you know?
it's weathered,
Weathered.
Do you know
You like
that
weathered.
that armor was
Like
supposed to
weathered.
be like
white.
just pure white?
Yeah,
He was supposed to be like a
Really?
stormtrooper.
Yeah, dude.
like a commando stormtrooper.
It's like an elite stormtrooper is what it
Yeah.
was supposed to be. And then they debuted it in the white
Mm-hmm.
for a parade.
Yep.
Before the Empire Strikes
yeah.
Back even came out.
Yep. And
Yeah.
that's why you can get a Lego figurine of it.
You
in
can?
the white
In
armor.
the white armor, yeah. It's probably a lot more rare.
It's a
isn't it?
lot of money. Yes.
I bet.
Because it came out like, what, 50 years ago? Or are you saying it came out as a special edition white?
Yeah, special edition
Special
white.
edition,
It's the
armor.
parade edition.
Yeah,
Yeah, the parade.
it's worth a lot.
Wow.
It's a white whale,
It's a white whale.
if you will.
It's a white armor whale.
Speaking of white, mostly stormtrooper armor is white,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Kirsten said that kind of armor. I know they can't see a thing out of it, but I would love to be one of them.
Yeah,
Right.
it is cool. It's iconic.
It's so
That's
It
what
cool.
is.
I do like
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
You
Like the
see it coming.
501st, right? I
It's-
think someone else said that too.
Of,
think
of
the
all
la-
the, we could even go into subcategories here because
Yeah.
we're not really, but we are. But one of the
We're
best.
doing it.
one of
Here
the
we go.
best-
We're doing it live.
I like the Scout Trooper helmet though. the
Yeah.
best.
Oh.
That's a good one.
And the Shore Trooper,
Snow trooper.
and the Scout, yeah, Snow Trooper too.
Yeah.
The Scout Trooper seems the most functional. Again, I
Yeah.
said not function, but I'm totally going back on
Oh,
that
dear.
because the whole thing
Function.
hinges.
You keep changing.
It makes
He
sense.
altered the deal.
He's
I'm
altering the deal again.
I'm
Yeah.
Vader tonight.
Well, Aaron said, didn't Rex butcher together phase 1 and phase 2 clone armor?
Did
Didn't
Rex
Yeah,
Rex
he
put it
kind of
together?
put it together. Yeah. I think Rex kind of did his own thing with it. He kept his helmet though, which is the phase
Okay.
1. But I think some of the other armor pieces he pieced together
Okay.
as it went on.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And KG said, does a good dark cloak count as armor?
I mean,
Good dark
Right?
cloak.
I mean,
it should.
yeah.
It counts as
Depends
something.
on what it's
If-
I mean,
made out
if only
of.
we had a Holocaust cloak.
Technically,
that would be worth something.
oh man, you guys, that's a great movie.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, they used to have like leather armor, which would help from like knife and cuts
true.
and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
depending on the fabric, I guess you could call that armor.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, or Sonia said baby Grogu's chainmail is cute and adorable.
that
So you
is
could have
pretty
a
cool.
Do you
cloak
mean
of
mithril?
chainmail.
That would be.
I think it's called
yeah,
mithril.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah, that's
mithril.
right.
That's what it
Okay,
is.
yeah,
but
yeah.
no, it's
No,
not actually.
it's
But
not.
they totally ganked it from that.
Got
It
it.
feels like it, but I'd like that.
This is Beskar mithril.
I mean, I would be wearing some of that
Beskar thrill.
under my stormtrooper armor that doesn't
Yeah.
do anything
Exactly.
except for looks. It's not even camouflaged.
Right?
right.
And then if you go to a snow planet, it's not warm. You have to put on the snow extra gear,
Yeah, the snow layer,
The snow
snow layer.
Mhm.
the
It's crazy.
insulation layer.
Yeah.
Could you survive in space if you got blown out of a ship in a stormtrooper outfit?
No.
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 It's
It
not
makes
even
no
vacuum
sense.
sealed.
But
No,
you
that-
could
no.
in a Mando.
Yes,
suit,
a Mando
so-
suit
Technically
does seal.
speaking.
Depending on which one you're wearing, I guess. But they actually make the
Yeah.
hissing sound that it's decompressing.
Decompressing, yeah.
which I like. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
In all of Star Wars, that's one of the things I've always been like, why doesn't everybody have some sort of system
Mhm.
Yeah.
where like
You
if
can
the
go in
wall
space.
blows out, you can live outside. Like if you're
Right.
traveling through space all the
Mhm.
time, that'd be one of the things in the future I'd want. You
It'd
know?
be like your seatbelt,
yeah, it
Yeah.
really would.
your space belt.
Yeah.
Safety belt.
True. Well, and every planet or solar system or whatever might have a different atmosphere. So you should have that.
Yeah,
Right.
right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah, you don't know if the air's breathable.
But you
Yeah.
know, Star Wars isn't exactly a lot of science
They
fiction.
don't
They're-
really
they don't lean
base
into
it in
that
science.
stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
Which keeps it interesting in some ways. If you
Mhm.
don't have to think about it too heavy, sometimes you could focus more on the story
Yeah.
and the plot and what's going on.
Yes.
But anyway, great answers. Were there any more?
Yeah, a few more.
Yeah.
A few quick ones.
Hit
So
me.
Bismo's back from getting some sun.
Yes!
And he said phase 2, 501st armor in
Yep.
his
Oh, yeah.
opinion, or Commander Cody armor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah.
with the visor.
Oh, the visor is
Yeah.
cool.
Visors
why
are
do the
cool.
visors make it so much more cool?
I don't know. It almost seemed like
you
a
guys like your
a detriment.
accessories.
Yeah, is it
because
accessory?
like
yeah, it really doesn't make sense because
Yeah.
it takes away your peripherals.
it's like
but
where's my peripherals?
Well, it keeps you focused, keeps you on target.
Keeps us focused.
right, that's a good point.
Makes us
And he's a
stronger.
commander, so he's not really
Sure.
He's
Not
only
s-
supposed to be looking forward,
yeah,
No.
never
not
behind.
sideways.
That's what his troopers are for.
Stop,
Or maybe in the visor, it like makes them invisible.
Ooh.
he's got a
Ooh.
visor because he advises people.
Oh,
That
Been
was
working on that one
terrible.
all night.
I am so sorry.
That was a good turn. You nailed that
Yeah.
Thank
timing.
you.
Really
We've practiced
We
a lot.
practiced.
I know, I
I've
know.
hit him so many
So
times.
many times. You have no idea. We're getting ready for the next fan film where Nick's just going to
Yeah.
punch me
Oh,
repeatedly.
I think that's a great idea.
yeah.
Choreo.
That's all it is.
Choreo train.
Nick, you're dumb. And he's
It's like the Three Stooges.
I
Yeah,
like stop
yeah.
doing it. You're still going.
That would be hilarious.
Well, KG asked, "What about Zillow Beast natural armor?"
Dude,
Yeah,
yes,
sure, that's
actually,
good.
yes. Technically, that is the most functionally the best armor.
Perfect.
It's
Mhm.
I like there's also the clone Jedi clone armor is pretty cool. It's minimal, but it does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you go Old Republic. I think Old
Yes.
Republic is kind of like a mix between Jedi and Mandalorian armor, which I think looks pretty boss.
Jedi Lorian.
Jedi
Lorian.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them, man. There's so much cool armor in Star Wars. I love it, and
good
I'd
stuff.
love to see like artist rendition of like the Zillow Beast. Like if you were to take pieces of the Zillow Beast, or even of the creature we saw tonight, you know, you take some of that armor and you like make an armor set. I would imagine it would be like Skyrim dragon scale armor.
Dragon scale.
But that would look pretty sick. I don't know why they haven't done that more, because like even in
Right.
Survivor, you fight those beasts that have like a lot of armor
Yeah.
on. You're like, dude, make some armor out of that. That would be
Right.
pretty.
Well,
That's
maybe your only
honestly-
defense is the stem or whatever.
I'm
Not
surprised they
defense,
didn't.
Yeah,
They didn't make like a challenge
that would be
where you had
awesome.
to kill so many and then you get the armor.
That would be awesome.
It would
dude.
be
I would
great.
love that. But anyway, great answers.
Mhm.
Great
Yeah.
question, Dustin. And let's move on to the next part of the
Way
show.
to go, Dustin. Way to go, Nick.
Way to
Good
go.
job, you me.
Good job.
We are the best.
We are the best. We're so good at being humble. We're the best.
We're psyching ourselves up.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, no, but we're going to get into this week's episode of The Bad Batch. We're going to jump right into the non-spoiler review.
Yeah.
But before we do,
Oh.
don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about us, because we'd love to grow this wonderful community together with all of you.
We'd love to grow.
Oh,
Somebody's got
We'd love to grow. What are we gonna do? We're gonna grow.
All right, no, we're jumping into non-spoilers of Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 5, The Return. All right, people, let's do this. Let's do our best. Let's give them some pros. Let's lead off with some pros, and then we'll jump into some cons, and then we'll rate this sucker, and we'll not spoil anything for your listening and viewing pleasure.
Right, Dustin?
Viewing with your ears.
No spoilies.
You don't have to call me out. Okay, I know
Did you
I
spoil
did
something
wrong
last week?
I didn't really spoil it,
He-
okay?
he-
It's
leaned
funny because it
into
happened
it.
to Dustin.
Look,
I-
we covered our tracks pretty good. You guys help me out. I
the
think
tracks
we
are
were
covered.
okay.
Yeah,
We committed
we
a
buried it
crime.
in the edit, Dustin. We buried it in the
We
edit.
did. I appreciate that.
Didn't exist. But I'm just gonna say the music was great because
Yeah, the
Kirsten
music,
Allen
the
already
score.
said it,
so did
There you
Hannah.
go.
and Hannah already said it. Right out of the gate, I'm like,
Bro.
this is amazing.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Now they know there's going
And
to be
then
music in it.
Dustin.
there was character development,
Oh.
and then they
Yes.
moved the story along.
Really?
And it almost was like this was supposed to be the Bad Batch show.
Oh. Spoilers.
I'm like, at one point, I was like, they're bad batching. They're
Yeah.
bad batching.
You guys.
You're doing it. You're doing it, Peter.
You're doing-
You're doing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
yeah, no.
just
And then there
fully-
was, something happened. Hey,
Now.
Skylar.
Yeah. So
it wasn't just a throwaway quest.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. For sure.
It had a little bit of weight to it. It had a little bit of
Wait.
Is that some sort of fat joke?
It was a heavy episode. It
There's
had
a lot
of weight
exercise
to it.
going on.
Yeah, there was. You keep using that word. Is something wrong with
Right?
Earth's
The Earth's
gravitational-
gravitational pull in the future?
Classic.
Yeah, there was
Sorry.
a disturbance in the
What's
force
that
for
word
sure.
again? Heavy.
It was it wasn't really a funny episode.
It was hilarious.
I laughed
From a
so
certain
much.
point of view, it was hilarious.
Yes, I suppose.
A lot of death. Not really.
The focus.
well,
They stayed on
No.
target
Yeah, I
in
was gonna
this
say
one.
the focus was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who it was focused on, what they were focused
Yes.
on.
right.
Things were
It was the Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. It was like
Yeah.
we hadn't seen them in a long,
It was
long
like-
time.
They finally got their show.
And they did a
Wardrobe
better
change.
job. What?
Whoa.
I feel like they did. Maybe you guys disagree. I feel like they did a better job of managing, the extra character in the Bad Batch that we don't
Yes.
particularly love. They managed that in a way that felt a little bit more natural,
manageable.
Yes, manageable. They didn't lean into that part of it. It just had some cinematography, like some really cool shots as well. Again,
Yes,
set the tone, but it stayed consistent. The opening shot, we were like, "Oh no, is this that one planet?" And then it was fine. But
yeah, they didn't dwell on it though. I actually thought they handled that pretty well.
Yeah.
they did.
it felt fun, like just lighthearted at the beginning. But you were with the Bad Batch. It's like, this is unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a feeling I haven't felt in a long time.
Yeah, that's a great point. It gave it time to breathe because, I mean, the first like 4 episodes were pretty heavy. There's a lot going on. So
Dark.
it gave it a little time to breathe. And I felt like that was adequate for what happened at the end of the 4th episode leading into the 5th episode. And I like that they didn't take forever to deal with things in a way in this episode. So it was nice that they stuck to the plan. They executed the plan pretty well. And Omega, or that character, we can say Omega. She's in the show. Now you got me second guessing myself with everything.
Spoilers.
But yeah, no, I thought they handled that well. The character growth was definitely the highlight of the episode for me. Where they go definitely brings a lot of tension to it. But it wasn't like it could be viewed as a side quest, but really, for how much story progression and everything you get with it and how much weight it has to it where they go for a specific character, it makes sense, and it actually draws you in more to the story than out, because we as a viewer know what's happened if you've seen the first 2 seasons of Bad Batch and how much weight that holds for all the characters in the Bad Batch. And yes, agreed with you guys. The Bad Batch was actually batching, and they felt like they all had another pro. It felt like they all were doing their role for the most part. I don't think they necessarily all did their role to their fullest extent, but they were at least acting as a unit together and going to their strengths, and things made sense for the most part.
Yeah, that was so refreshing. It was exciting to see that, and just kind of was like, all right, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Now we're cooking.
Took us a little while.
The last season of the show.
The last season of the show. But, I think that's where they realize is that, they have to get down to solving some of these problems so that they can actually, this is what we wanted. We're like, we want them to work together and solve problems against the Empire and stop the petty arguing and, let's not argue about who killed who. And just get down to business. Take out Palpatine and Omega.
Down
to business to defeat. Actually, it felt like that. The Huns.
Trademark.
And that was the callbacks in this one were fantastic.
Yeah, you're right.
The memories that we revisited from previous seasons without spoiling anything couldn't have been more exciting. And I was enjoying every minute of that storyline and that follow up. And of course, the conversations were good, like you said, Dustin. The dialogue. Yeah,
dialogue was definitely on point for sure. And I felt like the pacing and the tension or character development was probably the most standout.
Yes.
The action was believable.
Action was good.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't the standout of this.
Sure.
Right.
No, it didn't need to be.
It wasn't
That's
over
true.
the top.
That's true.
Right.
I mean, I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it. But for me, I didn't really feel like it had much weight to it, I guess.
The action.
I mean, I think it did have a purpose.
No, obviously it had a purpose.
Okay,
and there was a
but
reason.
Yeah, it wasn't the
but
main.
It wasn't the standout,
thing,
and there was some points in it that I was just like,
well, it's.
I'm not necessarily docking it. I'm just saying like it was action for action's sake.
But yes,
to keep the show interesting, which I don't mind because I like action.
Yeah,
but
gratuitous blaster fire and some forced tension.
Yeah, it felt more forced tension.
Are they going to cross the finish line before the timer goes off?
I almost felt like it would have been more.
There was a marathon.
I almost felt like it would have been more bold if they didn't do an action sequence in this. I don't think they can at this point because it's the show it is Clone Wars. There always has to be some. That's like an element of the show. You have to have some
explosions,
and it gave them the tension that they needed so that they could go batch. You
Right.
know,
That's
they
true.
got to work together. You do this thing, you do that thing, I'll do this thing. We'll stick together. And
Don't spoil
the
it.
one that we don't care about should stay back there. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing though I'd say is I didn't love is just it didn't feel like it necessarily fit with when a certain character was previously there because it was never. I don't think it was ever addressed before.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
So okay, well we'll get to it more.
I feel
in,
like- You have to be more specific than that.
yeah, I will. We'll get to that in
Spoilers.
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 But yeah, so well, we're kind of jumping into cons now.
Just
but,
do it.
But the cons for me in this episode, non-spoiler cons, was still
James Caan.
one of the characters just kind of still got to do whatever they wanted, and
Yep.
I
There's
was-
no rules.
I was like, what? But at least they kind of addressed that, so I was okay with it. But other con was actually during some of the action sequences for me, and I think Dan, you said it, is one of the characters looked like Woody running,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Like
I couldn't unsee that. Whenever you said that, I was like, oh my goodness, you're right. Some of the
It's all
animation,
gangly.
yeah, some of the animation was a little lacking for me in this episode. So I some
During
of it was
the
great,
action.
but like during the action, that's what I'm saying. In some ways, the action for me was one of the weakest points of this episode, which is weird to say because I love action. But yeah, what other cons you guys have? Nick, do you have any more cons?
Nah, I think you got it.
Okay,
Nailed it on the head.
nailed
a
it.
little bit jelly.
What about you, Dan?
KG said, yeah, animation sometimes suffers from too much needless action for me.
Okay,
So right on point. Yeah, that particular running sequence looked just like Woody. You're talking about Woody from
Yeah.
Toy Story.
Toy Story.
yeah,
That's who
Woody
he
from-
looked like.
yeah,
And
he runs with
No,
super
no.
goofy.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
Both.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and I don't think there were many other cons for me. It was one of those episodes that felt like fun to watch. You know, I think I will go rewatch it just
Yeah.
because I want to revisit some of the conversations
Mhm.
and the musical score.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was phenomenal, but I'm already back in the pros, so I went down. I mean, you know, again, the action plot. Like, do they have to go down there to get the thing? Did they have to fall? You know, there's some questions in the.
Spoilers,
it's
Martha.
it's a little forced. Yeah.
It feels a little forced. Like, if they don't get here, you know, forced tension. But
Yep.
again, that's the part for the children or for the kids. You know, like this
Younger
there's
audience,
stakes.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
younger folk.
Well, to keep us engaged too, because I mean,
Yeah.
I guess what else would you do in those like in the story? you know?
They could take this really dark, really fast.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And I think in episodes 15, 14, 15, 16 or whatever, the season, there might be some heavy, heavy moments. So we might look back and appreciate these lighthearted Woody running through the planet and dogs barking and, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
Yeah.
birds chirping.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of death.
Yeah.
Yikes.
We're going to be like, oh no.
Maybe you're projecting.
Is that a con?
No, that's a pro.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Gotta have
Wow.
guts.
Well, I mean, we
Gotta have guts.
yeah, I can't say anything else because it's
Well,
not spoilers.
I do think that
Go ahead,
a
fact check.
con
And we're out of time.
yeah, thanks. That for me was immediately upon seeing some action happening, I was like, okay, this is just like this old movie that I didn't love back in the day. And there's a kind of a movie out now that I do like, but I just why? It just feels like they can't come up with anything new. They are always pulling some kind of action or character or something from another movie or
Oh,
thing
right.
out there.
It-
Well, they don't have any original ideas.
yeah, thank you. That's
Okay,
a better way
yeah.
to say it.
I kind of agree, and that for me kind of felt like a little unoriginal in some ways for the action part of it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and it didn't like pull me out completely. I still,
Yeah.
well, I guess we'll get to our ratings. I'm
Yeah.
still pretty positive about
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
That was a con in my opinion.
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah, because I felt kind of the same way. I think most of the season so far, there's so many elements that they
Yeah.
pull from
Yeah,
other popular
yeah. Shows,
science
movies,
fiction or
IPs,
whatever
yeah.
IPs that you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, they definitely stole that. They definitely stole that. They definitely stole that.
Yeah.
And then it's starting to get kind of old. Again, everything's kind
Convoluted.
of been done before. So it's
There's nothing new under the sun.
so it's kind of like how far do you go with like that's unoriginal, that's original.
Yeah.
It's still they're taking something and adding it in and putting their kind of spin on
Sure,
it. Kind
sure.
of. So
There's a reason. For
but
it,
it's
I'm sure.
it's just
That's
whenever-
not their forte. Like that's not the
It's-
spot where
That's
it
true.
excels.
That's
And
true.
Yeah. Try
right.
spinning.
Yeah.
That's a neat trick.
Like they're not really pushing forward like Star Wars lore or, villainy, monster-y things in any way. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, we've seen that before. It's just a throwaway.
This has been done.
Yeah, I like.
I mean, it has a name now on Wikipedia, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's true. They do keep adding to that.
They do. So,
And even it was funny though. Even I think Wrecker had a line in this that kind of summed it up pretty well. I'm not gonna say it right now because it's a spoiler, but
Wait, Wrecker's in it?
Wrecker's in it.
Oh,
people.
my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Here we go.
Everybody dies. That's the biggest spoiler.
Everybody dies, yeah. No, but and we'll get to that in spoilers. I just thought that was very apt what he said, which was interesting and fun. But yeah, overall, I think to sum up this episode in the non-spoilers, I think there are definitely way more pros than there are cons. There's a few minor things, but nothing that really takes you out. It's more just like, oh, okay, I guess. But for the most part, you have character development. It's a huge pro. The music is still killing it. I mean, without the music in this show, it would definitely not be even as good.
Nope.
Because that music and some of their pacing, I actually enjoyed in this episode. They gave things, I think, time to breathe. And that helped with actually developing the character and some of the tension and what we needed to learn from these characters. I like the direction they're going. Not that they've given us too much, but at least they're still staying with a main plot, a main story. So I do appreciate that fact. But yeah, there's just a few minor cons. The action I felt like wasn't 100% the greatest, but at least we got action. It still has that classic feel to it. And the one character we mentioned is still semi-negative to me, but not bad in this episode at all. Like I would have to say the best of that character of the entire season so far.
Season or series?
You know what? Maybe series.
Wow.
Maybe series.
Cereals.
Serial Karn.
Wow.
Serial Karn.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That we can talk about in spoilers. But
yeah, for sure. So let's rate this sucker, unless you guys have anything else in non-spoilers. All right, let's rate this sucker and we'll get into the spoiler section. All right, for me, I'm gonna go with a 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 out of 5.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
4 out of 5.
4.
Yeah. I'm at 4.5 out of 5.
4.5. All right.
I went 4 last week. I enjoyed the return, and it set up what was good this week. So they only improved on it this
They
week.
did, yeah.
They improved.
As somebody said in the comments we'll talk about in the spoiler section, we finally realized who the main character of the show is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah.
It took us a long time to get there.
They're bad batching. They're doing it, guys.
So 4.5. What'd you say?
Yeah, I'd also say 4.5.
All right.
It was good.
4.5.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
There was just a smidge thing that without it would have been a 5.
Yeah.
The smidge.
The smidge.
Smidge.
We're gonna have to learn the smidge.
Always a smidge.
What's the smidge?
All right. What are people saying in the chat?
Yeah, well, I put up a poll, but a lot of 4s, a good amount of 5s so far. I'll leave this up. And as we go through
We'll
spoilers,
revisit
too.
at the end of the spoilers section, but
I think people liked it.
people are digging it. I
And
saw
I'm
it.
glad you guys did too.
Yeah, it was good.
It was palatable.
It was good.
Palpatinable.
It was palpatinable.
4 out of 5 is nothing to sneeze at around here.
Right.
No,
So,
for us, yeah, especially Bad Batch.
yeah.
Although in the past, to be fair, there have been some episodes we were like,
Yeah.
that was amazing. Like we've gotten like almost perfect scores.
Yeah, I mean, for
is-
this season. Yeah.
Yeah. For this season, I think it was the best. It was obviously for all of us the best one of the season so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Easy to
definitely.
say that.
For show.
I'm seeing some 4.5s. Bismarck was rated at 4.5. I'm seeing
4.25.
Yeah, for Miss Manrique.
Ms. Manrique,
4 out of 5.
and then Kirsten 4 out of 5 for me. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Everybody's pretty much in agreement so far. That's awesome. Yeah. Let us know in the poll as well, and we'll
They are.
review that at the end. So.
They are.
All right, we're gonna jump. We're gonna jump into the spoilers section of Bad Batch season 3, episode 5, The Return, and we're gonna spoil it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
Everybody do the flop.
Nick, there might be a time this season where
We flop.
you say the opposite of that.
Dude.
Everybody
yeah.
lives.
And then it's gonna be. Oh, that's gonna be so much
Yeah.
more dark
Oh
though.
my
I mean, it's
God.
gonna make. I'm gonna have to make a
No.
montage of all of these moments, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
put it against that.
You know they got to end it like that.
I think they
No.
do.
Like they have to all die.
as long as they
Except
give us a
Rex.
video game where we can play as those characters.
Rex and
Yeah, that's what you
maybe
were talking about,
Echo
yeah.
don't die.
Yeah.
Well, Rex can't because we know
Rex is
canonically
canon.
Right, Rex?
He makes it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Rex. Yeah, tell him.
Let's
Kill
see.
him, Rex.
I had
Tell-
I had
tell
a
the folks
camera
out
angle
there.
for him.
Oh.
That was a little dramatic.
Rex has seen some stuff.
He's in your face.
I feel like that's his face when he's like annoyed with us.
Right.
He's like,
Of course I survived.
Well, of course I survived. Look at my
so-
look at my phase 1 helmet I'm
Yeah.
rocking.
yeah.
Yeah. It's me, it's Rex.
He's ripped too in that shirt.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks really good. He still loves Babs Yoder though.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's get to spoiling this thing. You
Everybody
guys want to
dies.
let's do cons first.
Wait, cons? We don't do
Oh.
Do we do that?
we do that.
We're reversing
We do
it.
that.
James Con.
James Con.
I prefer
Or-
cones.
Con.
There's only
Yeah.
2 out there.
I only have. There's only a few cons for me.
What are they?
Sorry, I had to think for a sec. I think Omega, the part where she's like, I have to do something to help the rest of
Yeah,
the
I
clowns.
left all those clowns behind.
I
I
left
got to do something. It's
and
like
then nobody even argues.
that doesn't make sense.
Like,
I'm
okay,
like-
Sid.
I mean,
Yeah.
at least like Hunter before that was telling her that she had to stay because she is.
Mhm.
Or,
Yeah.
No, Crosshair actually calls her out
Mhm.
on it too,
He's
which
just a
I
kid.
I liked that they actually did that.
Yeah.
The other thing I didn't like though was the fact that she tried to pull the whole "I'm older than you" card,
yeah,
and
It
I'm
was
like,
cute,
get
though.
outta
It was
here with
done-
that.
It was interesting.
in a funny way. She wasn't
Yeah,
like,
except for he was like, "Well, you're right."
well, he just hadn't
Yeah.
thought about it, but he wasn't going
What?
to listen.
Oh.
Right. Well, he listened to the last episode when she was running the
Barely.
show
No, he
Yeah.
just went his own
and
way.
running her mouth.
My talents are being wasted.
Well, they have a good kind of connection now. So
Connections.
anyway, that's a pro in my
Yeah,
They got a
we're
connection.
on
We're in the
cons,
cons,
fact
sorry.
checker. Stay on target.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Be negative. Be negative on this episode.
Yeah, come on, join the dark side.
Wow.
I don't know why I yelled that, but
Be negative.
that's my blood type. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
And that's not my social security number.
What is happening?
Too much
right
personal
now?
information.
We're
I don't know.
devolving.
Here's my keys.
What's this? This words? You dum dum.
There weren't many cons, but I think the biggest one was the action Woody jump scene and the
Yeah.
weird monster thing that was
Yeah.
kind of like not scary.
It was
Did we
like
already
it
know
was the
that-
tremor.
Yeah, it was
Tremors.
That's what all I could
Have
envision.
you ever
was
seen
the
that
tremors.
movie?
Tremors.
It's so stupid.
That
Wouldn't we
movie
have
is like
seen that?
I like-
terrifying when you watch it
Yeah.
as a kid.
I like
Yeah,
that
it
movie.
was
I actually
freaky.
like
Oh,
Tremors.
I couldn't handle.
But
yeah,
Tremors
no.
has a air of like humor to it.
It is.
It's
It's
dark.
It's very campy.
Right, but it
it's-
ends like I think dies so horribly. It's like scary too.
Well, dude, there's
Yeah.
like 15 of them.
Oh yeah, there is terrifying, but it
Yeah.
is
Just-
also
it's
hilarious
stupid.
with Kevin Bacon.
It
because
is,
because
yeah.
as a kid, like there's nothing scarier than like you're just standing there and then all of a sudden the ground
Yeah.
eats you.
Yeah.
It's
So-
like the most real version of the floor is lava, except for you won't melt.
Yeah.
If you move
Yeah.
and standing
dead.
anywhere,
You're
you're
gone.
done.
Yeah.
Like it is a terrifying premise when you think of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
like KG said,
Yeah.
Creature of the Week got too tropey for me a long time ago,
Mhm.
and I think
Yeah.
that's it for all of us. We're kind
Yeah.
of burnt out on
Well,
Yeah.
that's what
Creature of the Week.
That's what
Even
Wrecker
in-
said too.
Yeah,
He's
there-
like, why is there always a
thank you.
big monster?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was alluding to in the non-spoilers. But that was a perfect saying.
Yeah.
Like,
It's forced tension. Is that what that was his direct quote?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was his quote when he was, "Why is there always a giant monster?" Which is kind of funny. He was almost breaking the fourth wall
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
that
that's
regard.
true.
because-
They did that a lot in this episode and the last week's episode.
Yeah, which last week's episode. So Nick, you got to see it,
I did.
and
Oh,
you
yeah.
actually liked it.
I did.
What would you
I
rate that
enjoyed
one
it.
real fast?
Oh,
I know
yeah,
we're
yeah,
kind
I'm
of
curious.
getting off target.
Probably
here,
the
but
same.
About a 4?
4.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Wow.
Four-ish.
Yeah. Bring it
Whoa.
on.
Yeah.
I didn't like it that much.
It
but-
set up some.
I love that. Like
It
the
wasn't
best
terrible.
part was when the stormtrooper got flung back.
Dude, that was so funny.
that was
Right.
unexpected.
Whoever thought of that at Disney or whatever to like actually make that a point,
What?
they need to do more Star Wars.
For sure.
That's the funniest part of the whole season so far. Yeah, but the other line he says
Yeah, it's
that
when he-
Crosshair says in that episode
and
is
he's-
so apt for the entire
like,
show of
my-
Bad Batch.
My talents are being wasted.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yes.
like, yeah, they've been wasted the whole show,
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was like you just
except
summed
for
up
like 2 episodes.
yeah,
Yes.
right, whenever he was off on his own. Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
It's so exciting, though. That's what we're in the cons, but it's exciting to know that they finally figured out who the leader of this show is, the main character.
Yeah.
And then when
it's not Omega.
It's not Omega. And when we lean into that, but now we've had him finally interact with Omega in a way that showed Crosshair to be even a better character.
Yep.
Because he's telling her what's up, and then he just makes sense when he tells you stuff. He means it, And that conversation he had with Hunter, we can get to later. But
because we're in con stand,
I know.
We're supposed to be talking negative.
I know. I am talking.
Dan.
Speak the negatives, please. There wasn't
Be
enough
negative.
comedy. I didn't laugh enough.
Oh, wow.
I did smile though, but I didn't laugh. I liked. Was it BZ? Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
The droid.
The droid,
That was
flying around.
cute.
Droid.
He's kind of funny. I mean, he's
That's a pro.
Yeah, he was making fun of Crosshair. That made me upset. So I'm mad still.
Yeah.
Way to save that
We
one.
went back
like
to
that?
Pabu.
I'm full of them.
Yeah, Pabu.
There's another con.
Pabu
Was
a
it
con.
actually Pabu?
Yes,
Yeah.
It definitely was. Yeah.
Okay.
Pabu,
But you didn't.
no
You didn't
race.
stay there for long, so that's
that,
a pro.
That is a con. That is a
A pro.
It is a pro. I know.
That's a pro. But
There's just
being
so many
there was
pros.
a con. I was like, why are we here again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least-
I was
at
nervous
least
at the
Fee didn't
beginning.
show up.
Yeah, if he showed up, and
I'd have
then-
been like, okay, we're out. We're done.
Didn't she mention Fee, or did she say Z or Fee?
Yeah, she said Fee.
Oh, because Fee could take a look at it.
Fee.
do you think
so
they
close
didn't
to
get her to
feet.
come back for this season? Maybe that's why she's
Maybe
not.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
they
her
might be
love
saving
her love interest is gone.
Yeah,
so-
they
Yeah.
might be saving that for some emotional weight for
Okay.
Tech being
Tick.
gone or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in the trailer, she definitely was in there,
Oh, was she?
Oh,
Was she
that's
though?
right.
or
Yep,
in
you're-
some trailer.
Maybe she's
I've
just
seen
there and
recently.
she doesn't say anything.
No, she was talking.
You're talking.
Was she? Are you sure?
I'm allowed to talk.
I don't remember that.
There was a trailer I saw this
Yeah.
morning about the new episode,
Oh, okay.
and she was in it.
Are
But
you
Yeah.
she
sure it
wasn't in
wasn't
this
from?
episode.
Okay.
Huh,
Are you
that's
sure
weird.
it wasn't from old seasons?
No, it was posted this
Come
morning.
on. Do you
Nick.
know the difference?
I pay attention to
between
dates.
this season footage and last season footage?
Oh, KG has my back. Said Fee was in the trailer.
But what
Oh,
trailer
okay.
was it? Name it.
Oh my goodness.
Put it in
Nick.
the chat. I want to watch it right now.
She was in a ship shooting stuff. That's too many SHs. All right, back to cons.
Shooting.
Yeah, I think
things.
so.
Go to pros.
The only other cons for me was what we talked about a little bit was the action, and some of the animation with the action
Yeah.
felt very
Woody.
jittery to me and unrefined, unpolished.
Unrefined.
For a lot of the other action sequences in the season so far, everything has been feeling a lot more smooth. It looks pretty nice,
Mhm.
but I feel like in this episode, for some reason, things went back to being not as good, not as crisp, I guess you could say. And some of the animation just stuck out to me as weird. I'll do one. Okay, this is a very big nitpick. Like, not a big nitpick. I mean, it's
Do
very
it.
minor. The
Yeah.
only thing is, whenever Crosshair in some of this episode, I almost feel like I don't feel good about
D.
this.
Bradley
I'm
Baker.
throwing a little bit
I
of shade
can't
at
believe
D.
you're gonna go there.
D. Bradley, but he sounded like when Crosshair was like yelling or something, he sounded just like Tech. It did not sound like Crosshair.
And then we had to remind Dustin, yeah, it's because one guy does five
Yeah,
voices.
Okay, I know that. I didn't have to be reminded.
Dustin's like, why can't he do it better?
but I did not.
Gosh.
I'm saying this is
I
a
could do
very
it better.
No, whenever he's talking back and forth, I had to double take because I was like, wait, where's Tech?
No,
But then
actually, you were like, it's only one guy.
You just realized.
I just realized, yeah. No, that'd be
Wait,
like a Matt moment.
What? They're brothers?
They're brothers? Wait, they're all clones?
Wait.
Where's Commander Cody?
Who's the original clone?
How do you think that goes into his contract? Do you think he gets paid for every voice
Well, I
character?
hope
I don't
so.
know.
Probably.
Every
So,
word
yeah.
he says.
At least every word.
Yeah.
Like
he says.
5,000.
Because
Oh,
otherwise, think of the budget if they had to hire all those people for every different.
Mhm.
Right. And it just makes sense for him to do all those characters for the clones, but you wouldn't have a show without him.
No.
At all. Yeah, they saved so much money probably. He better have charged for each voice that he does.
I would have been like, I'm playing 5 roles. I'm getting paid 5 times.
yeah, seriously. He should. But yeah.
That being said,
That was a
do
very
better.
minor-
Do better, says
No,
Dustin.
No. He does amazing work. I
Yeah.
am not calling him out.
I'm
I just
kidding.
said
Wow,
for a brief.
Dustin's really bashing on D. Bradley Baker.
That's the takeaway from tonight's
Yeah.
episode.
Oh, well.
He hates him.
Wow. I do
Wow.
not. You were doing
I can't
a great
believe
job.
you just said that, Dustin.
I did
heard
not.
right through this ear.
Wow.
Went right through the other side.
No, D. Bradley does an amazing job, but it was just a very minor thing.
So when did this hate start for D. Bradley?
He offered to do Omega, but he didn't have the right accent.
Yeah,
so-
right.
No, he probably would have done a better job.
Oh,
Oh, that's now throwing shade at the.
Whoa.
All right, Dustin. You're
You should
throwing
go to
yourself under the bus.
Pros.
So, Dustin, what'd you think about the guy who voiced Palpatine?
Yeah, right. Tim Curry.
Okay, wow. I feel like I
See,
just got
it's-
thrown right under the bus here tonight.
It's hard to find
threw
real
yourself under it.
cons, you know. I mean, this episode was so.
It was a
solid.
good episode. Yes, we're just kind of picking at things, or not. It's not
Picking.
really huge stuff, but yeah. Let's jump to some pros. I don't think. Do you guys have
Okay.
any other cons?
No.
Okay.
I might think of one, but probably not.
Yeah, you'll probably think of one when we're doing pros. Like you always think of 8 pros while we're doing cons.
Yeah, I just can't.
We're all like,
Switzerland.
yeah, it was great.
It's Switzerland.
You know, it's great
Switzerland.
character development, great story. And Dan's like, you want to know what sucked?
Right. That's how my brain works, right? When you need to think
Yeah.
of the thing you need to think of, you think of the opposite, and then later on, when you're not supposed to be thinking about that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, so-
pros.
Let's jump to the pros, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pros in this episode. I mean, obviously the character development with Hunter and Crosshair.
Oh, man.
I mean, we're feeling the real weight of his decisions. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yes.
For sure.
His decisions.
And some of the other characters' decisions.
They're
Yeah,
finally getting
exactly,
called out
which-
by somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was a good call out there.
There's
I mean,
just so much good dialogue and
Yeah,
angst, and they're talking about stuff we wanted them to talk about for forever now.
yeah, exactly.
They got to get through some stuff.
Yeah.
It feels,
Eating bran muffins.
Yeah, they haven't resolved any of this, right? Since the end of, since the first episode of the first season,
yeah.
when Crosshair started, shooting, and
Started just killing
they're like,
people.
"What are you doing, Crosshair?" And then they finally, now 30 episodes later, are having the conversations.
I like the fact that Crosshair, he has to come to terms with it, but he's having negative effects physically and mentally
Yeah.
that are affecting him from the decisions that he's made. It's weighing so heavily on him that it's actually affecting him very real. But it's also the fact, I love the line when he was talking to Hunter about how he thought he knew what he was getting into when he joined the Empire. And then he also said, but Hunter called him out and said, but did you betray them like you betrayed
Mhm.
you
Us.
betrayed me
Mhm.
us? And I thought that was very well said. But then also how he came against that and said, no, he said, I betrayed them after they betrayed me.
Mhm.
And I liked that distinction. I think that was a good distinction because really
Yep.
anybody who joins the Empire runs that risk. And that's what that is shown time and time again, because the Empire is really out for themselves.
Mhm.
They're not really out to help the galaxy. And that's why I liked how they showed that character being, especially Crosshair, going through all of that and then coming to terms with it and then realizing and saying it. He never really said that, but they betrayed me. Like I gave up everything I had, like all my brothers, all my friends, everything, because I thought I was going to be a good soldier and I was going to
Thought I
do
was
my
being a
job,
good
and I was
soldier.
doing something bigger than myself. But then they betrayed me and they threw me to the wayside. So then I betrayed them. Which that guy deserved it, man. That was the
He
best
did.
episode of last season.
On
Mayday.
this
That was
planet.
that was so good.
Yeah,
What
on the
was
same
What
planet.
was the
It was.
name of the planet? Did they say? I
Um,
don't know.
Ice
if it matters.
Planet number 5.
I just was so excited because I knew we would revisit the music and
Yeah.
the musical score of Mayday, and that whole episode with Crosshair was
Right.
just phenomenal. So much so I made that short this week. That
Barton 4.
Barton 4.
Barton 4.
It was the Outpost.
Barton?
It was
previous
the
episode.
Outpost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Outpost. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
man. Oh
I
man.
like
so good.
Ryan Sharma jumps in and says, # the Empire was right.
The Empire was right.
No.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Well, they
Oh.
weren't completely wrong. They had some rightness
They had
about
some
them.
merits.
I mean, the galaxy is an unruly place. You got Hondo out there, pirates making a mess. You got all these other
Man, I wish
Crazy
they had
animals.
They
again.
need to show Hondo. They're missing the mark with Hondo. But what other pros did you guys want to talk?
pros.
I mean,
Crosshair got his armor back. Icy did mention that here in a comment. I like that. That's a great point, Icy there. I like that he got his armor back, and they were joking around. They're like, it still fits.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty
Mhm.
funny. But
Mhm.
he was actually teaching in the way I thought you would like that, Nick. The way that because you like snipers.
I do like snipers.
yes.
The way he talked about being
Yeah.
a sniper when he
Yeah.
was teaching Omega.
Uh,
Did you like that? That
yeah.
whole
You
dialogue
gotta be
there.
patient. Gotta know.
Your
I can't remember.
surroundings. It was your surroundings.
and know when
and
you
when
have
you're-
eyes on you.
Yeah, when you're being watched or whatever. Yeah.
They don't trust me.
No, trust me. One Hondo.
Which was
Yeah.
good that he was out there practicing. And
Made sense.
According to the droid, he was getting a little bit better. So there's hope that he'll regain
Actually,
his
I
abilities.
thought he said that. I thought the droid said
50%.
it was a lot worse than his average.
Oh, no, I thought he
Yeah.
said 53 last time.
It said, and then he said it was way below your average.
Well,
Yeah.
sure, but he had improved. Since
Oh,
the
I
last
didn't catch
time,
that
I
part.
thought. I don't know.
I don't
I
think
thought
so.
that's what I heard. but-
Maybe.
Okay.
He might
Maybe
be
it's
right.
That's
my
what you
mind.
wanted to hear.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's good.
yeah, no.
No, it also had like a professionalism of pace.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
they started off nice and easy, like you would want an easy episode to get going, and then they quickly went to their mission after a few nice pieces of dialogue, like with the sniper and
Yeah.
you know getting to see everybody on the ship, and you know some like tension between the guys because they're all
Yeah.
there together, and it just
Mhm.
felt right. And then it just built to Crosshair revisiting when he did the ultimate betrayal to the Empire, which is what got him here in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's like, but all of this now is through Crosshair's eyes, which is what we've wanted.
Yeah, because we've seen this. We know what he's
Yeah.
going through. Nobody else there does.
Exactly. So it's fun to see Hunter and all them, especially Hunter, because he was the leader before and he kind of fell off. And then them go at it, of course, in that amazing exchange.
good-
That was probably the best.
When
Good
they started
exchange of
yelling at
words.
each other.
Yes.
He's like,
Oh.
you're just mad because I helped her escape and you didn't.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Although, really, if you watch that,
She helped him.
She didn't really need his
Yeah,
help. I mean,
no.
it's Omega. Let's
I
be
mean,
real.
he helped somewhat. The dog didn't,
Mhm.
maybe just as much.
Yeah, the dog. Okay,
The dog's name was
Batcher.
Indy.
the dog. We named the dog Indy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
You're named after the dog.
I did find one more con,
Oh,
but
no.
it's a pro and a con. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
All right,
Ba-
Dan.
Batcher. Yeah, I know. I'm pulling you. No, Batcher to me is a very likable dog. Like I actually like Batcher. I think he's pretty cool. The design and like
Uh-huh.
he's very helpful. But also, how is he so helpful? Because like they literally, she like gave him a few treats and then immediately like acts like a perfect like
It's
attack
also
dog.
life debt,
and, like,
Also,
Yeah.
the dog seems like smarter than like a dog should.
Yes.
I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
But it is an alien species, so even to come back against myself, maybe it's smarter than regular dogs.
Yeah.
So
And she domesticated him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's actually a she,
sometimes, oh, is it?
she-
the dog.
Oh, I
yeah.
did not know that.
Nice.
How
Good
did you?
fact.
How
This is
did
the last episode. She calls it, Omega calls her she.
Oh, okay. Well, then that
Nice.
makes sense. The Force is female.
Yep,
It's a
there you
she.
go.
Oh my
so of
goodness.
course
Yeah.
the dog is going to be
Wow.
perfect.
Well,
Exactly.
animals
It's a
in Star
Mary
Wars.
she dog.
Oh my
God.
Animals in Star Wars do seem to connect with people that are force sensitive or
Right.
at least have a high
Yes.
M count like Omega. And that's why I think
Midichlorians.
that it was attracted to her because it knows maybe that this is a good person or whatnot. Although she might be going dark side, but I don't know. I think,
God, I hope so.
yeah.
Well,
all
Hannah
of
had a
my-
good point.
All of my cons of
Mhm.
Batcher to say that I actually
Yeah.
like Batcher. I think
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like it's a good addition
There's a
and it's fun.
purpose
Yeah.
for her.
Like that's a
being
kind of
in the
dog
season
I would
now.
want to have that
Yes.
behaves that well. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
Sorry.
It's
Anyway.
almost
Yeah.
Maybe they should have developed that character a little bit more.
Oh, now they have.
I need character development, okay? Even with the dogs.
You're so impatient.
I'm so
Couldn't
sorry.
wait
What were you
3
going to say?
episodes.
Go ahead.
Well, Hannah had a good point. Crosshair doesn't want a dog. And then in this episode, Crosshair and the dog are like petting
Yeah.
and hugging. They're
Yeah.
best friends.
That's like
Following each
yeah,
other.
like a perfect example. Like, that's like dads.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
getting a dog.
We're out getting a dog, and
Yeah.
the dog's the one
And then the
laying on
dad
the
and
couch
dog
together.
are- yeah.
Yeah, and then the dad and the dog become best friends.
The dog's laying on the dad.
In some ways, it reminds me of Chewbacca and Han in a life debt situation.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Because-
point.
Omega saved
She did, yeah.
it from the evil Hemlock,
Yeah.
and then he just found them in the woods again and helped
Right,
save
right.
Omega from all the yada yadas and that big creature, that big creepy
Yada,
creature.
yada,
That was
yada.
the other creature of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that episode 3 or 4 or 2?
3 no 2 was
3
the-
was when they got out.
yeah.
2, okay, yeah, and that was the
Well,
big
and there
creature.
was another random creature that showed up in
Yeah.
3 that like
yeah.
they had to run past. What was I don't even remember now.
That was
I
the
don't
one that they
remember.
were using the dogs to fight off or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
So somebody
I don't
said
know.
something in the chat about dogs or animals, with the force. Like Palpatine used like worms to like protect his thing. It's like certain animals represent evil, certain animals maybe they're drawn to it, right?
Yeah.
So
I
Use
also see
worms?
Bismo said doggo development.
Doggo development.
I like that. That's great.
Doge development.
Oh man. Yeah. But definitely like that dog. But also speaking of females, one other pro I did want to touch upon real quick was the fact that Amiga's actually starting to look
like a female?
like a female. Like I like that they're actually showing her character, like even her character design, I feel like changed in this episode, even from the last one.
Because she got more
Obviously-
sleep.
Yeah, she's obviously, but it looked like they aged her a little bit, and then they made her look a little more feminine, which I thought was a nice touch. I actually like that.
it's
I'm
the
applauding them
sunlight,
for that.
Dustin. It's the vitamin D.
That's true.
I guess
And being
maybe that's what it is.
around cheerful friends again.
Sure. You had something though, fact
Whatever
checker.
She
you
did
wanna
have a
say.
bit of a glow
Yeah.
about her, is what you're saying. She had a warmness
Yeah,
to her
yeah.
that she hadn't
Yeah.
had before. Which
Especially when they were sitting, I feel like I noticed it more when they were sitting around the table
Mhm.
talking for some reason.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
like,
it was good.
Yeah,
It was the
she's getting a little
sunlight.
older. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's not as butch, which I'm glad. So
Mhm.
anyway, what were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh,
So
sorry.
good job.
Okay, stop talking.
maybe it was Rex.
Rex was saying
Rex is
something.
like, I'm so done right now.
Oh yeah, and I did see some talk in the chat about Hemlock about his hand,
Yes,
which
yeah.
we went
What's
over
up
that a
with his
little bit.
hand?
But yeah, definitely something going on with his hand there. He does keep touching
Got
it, and it's
carpal
always got a
tunnel.
glove. And I think a lot of people, who was it? Somebody's in the chat.
KG said, or maybe someone earlier said it, how Hemlock rubs his hand like Crosshair has been doing. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
So is
And
he
a lot of people,
clone
I think
too?
somebody else was speculating that that's why part of the reason he's out at Mount Tantus is he wants to regrow
Oh.
a hand
Maybe that's what
or
it
to
is.
be able to.
So was he trying to take something
cloning
from
ability.
Yeah, from Hunter? Like he wanted his sniper ability, he wanted his hand or something, or I don't know.
Maybe he
Ooh, I
was
don't-
testing on himself to, I don't know, be immortal.
Maybe he
or
didn't have a
whoever.
hand, and now he does, but it doesn't work right.
That's true.
Maybe he switched hands with Crosshair.
Hey, he just unscrewed his hand.
Yeah. Just like Echo.
with Echo,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, or he could have mechanical. He could just have a mechanical hand type situation, or there's
Mhm.
something wrong with him.
You know what I did
But-
like about this episode though?
Yeah.
Echo.
Yeah, agreed.
I like
Yeah.
him just being direct.
Yeah.
You know, he's a little bit less emotional, kind of more like Tech was.
Yep.
You know, he's a soft version of Tech. He's
Yeah.
Techo.
He's a software.
Echo.
And he just kind of jumped right in and fit right in, and it let us feel like we're back with the Bad Batch again.
Well, and he
Yeah.
felt like more of a leader in some
yes.
ways because he's
Yeah.
been off with
He's matured, yeah.
he's been off
with
with
Rex.
Rex.
He has more intel and kind of mission oriented focus.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got more big world, like, this is why we got to do this
Mhm.
stuff, guys. Like, we got to get on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's actually been fighting the fight where
Mhm.
like the bigger picture situation. So he knows what's at stake and what's
And,
going on.
yeah, gotta
They're
keep
working on
fighting.
getting intel. I really like that. That's a great point, Dan, with Echo.
Mhm.
And Hunter definitely kind of stepped up in some ways in this episode. As far as like leading, but not too much. It was more just like
Mhm.
watching Crosshair, but you
He's
know,
still observing. And,
I think Hunter needs Crosshair because I think they were probably always at each
Sure.
other's throats to some degree.
They're
right.
keeping each other.
Because
in check.
Crosshair has always been the kind of like pragmatist, like, let's just shoot them all.
Yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
I'll just snipe them
A
all.
little
You
dark.
guys, he's like, you guys do what you do. I'll just hang out over here and take them out when you guys get in trouble. You know, he's always saving
Yeah.
the day. So it's interesting that Hunter, I think he's going to grow from now having
Mhm.
Crosshair because we saw that already.
They're what
excited
kind of like
about
makes
that.
each they make each other better. In a lot of
yeah,
ways,
yeah.
you know.
A good leader needs someone pushing them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Working with them.
You
in a
can't
way.
always agree with him.
And now that
Push
they're
back.
Yeah.
So is it official that they like are on the same page now with what they want to do in their lives and their mission with the Bad Batch being back together? Because I was afraid that they were going to separate them all like right away, like
right.
go their own ways. But now that they've really had their conversation that they needed to have and been kind
Yeah.
of called each other out, had their little bro fight.
They need to work through some stuff, and I
Mhm.
felt like they did a good job of showing that in this episode. I get the feeling that they're actually back together now. I mean, I can't imagine he put on the armor again. Crosshair did, so I can't
Mhm.
imagine that he would, I don't know what else he would do at this point. You know, he's already left. If they do it again, I'm like, okay, this is getting real old. And he's joining them and then leaving again. It's like, come on, let's stick with something. And I feel like he's kind of more found his place, and the fact that they're letting him back in, and that takes a lot of trust. I mean, he betrayed him twice, almost killed him multiple times, and they're letting him back in. So you can understand why Hunter was hesitant to let him back in, but not knowing what happened. So that's why he pushed him, and he was like, dude, I got to know what happened for you, for them to betray you like that. He's also, you know, he's also still trying to protect Omega in some ways in that regard, because he's like, are you going to betray us and betray Omega again? Yeah. Or like, we can't keep going on this way. I need to know. And that discussion they had, it was also funny. Echo was like, there's no blood this time. So I'd say it's a success.
Yeah.
But I still don't think they were clear at the end of the episode what their group mission is.
No.
I mean, are they going to go with what Omega wants to do, which
I think
is
so.
rescue all the clones on Tantus, which they don't know where it's at, which I don't understand how they don't know where Tantus is at.
Right. Yeah, no, I think Tantus is the main mission at this point. It feels like they're setting it up so that they want to rescue all the clones on Tantus, and how they said there's more clones here than we even realized, and all this stuff.
Yeah, it was nice having, I guess, more intel being shared and stuff with the mission they were on.
Yeah, for sure. Skylar says, bless you, Nick.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Sorry about that. Sorry about your eardrums.
Yeah.
I'm curious where they are going to go from here.
Where do we go now?
Because I feel like we've covered a lot of ground now. We've got them back together. Got the band back together. We don't have any answers on Tech. We've gotten to see them really work together, which is what we've been asking for like 30 episodes.
Right.
And Omega's actually feels like she's kind of in her place now in the Bad Batch. You know, maybe she's a little too good at the tech stuff, but we can blame that Tech's just a good teacher.
Right. There was the
And
most. Yeah. No, to your point, the Tech was with her the most, teaching her the most.
Yeah.
So it does kind of make sense that she did. At first, I was like, what is she doing? Why is she doing that? But then it was like, actually, Tech did teach her a lot of stuff. So
as opposed to her being the one to run out there and do the thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of where they've always just, we'll just let Omega run out there. And then they're like, oh no, we have to save Omega because she fell down a hole.
Although she was still kind of calling the shots, which I didn't absolutely love. And she was like, all right, you do this, Wrecker or whatever. And Wrecker was like, the kid trusts him. That's good enough for me. Right. I'm like, the child?
The child?
Right.
Well, she wasn't calling all the shots during the mission.
No. Echo, I feel like more so was, but I mean, like whenever she was guiding
with Crosshair,
I know,
and with me, anyway.
But because I said that during the episode, I'm like, well, Wrecker's like, well, the kid trusts her, you know, it's good enough. I'm like, but the kid trusted Sid, and kept for an entire season, sent us on rabbit trails, doing ridiculous things for Sid and the bad people that she dealt with, and then she left them hanging high and dry. And whatever happened to her? Is Crosshair going to take her out? I hope.
Is she dead?
I actually don't even want to see that. I don't ever want to see Sid ever again.
Yeah.
So,
well, going back to Tech, Mrs. Manrique said Crosshair believes Tech wouldn't have died if they hadn't come to save him. So there still might be more angst or discussions, bro fights needed to address some of this stuff.
Yeah, they're definitely still gonna have to address that because there's not really resolution there. They never really resolved that, and I think they're saving that for some more emotional weight later on.
That'd be good.
Plus Fee showing up. The questions I have though is, I think somebody said in the chat, but I think what's gonna happen next is because they put the bounty on Omega. I think what's gonna start happening is I feel like we're probably gonna be getting into some bounty hunters showing up, seeking them out, and then they're gonna have to fight them off, or potentially, I think somebody in the chat said build their forces.
Yeah, Miss Manrique is saying get friends involved to save them.
Yeah, to help build their forces. Maybe they can, turn those bounty hunters around and have them help them get the clone troopers out.
I would love a Kanan. I forgot we got like a young Hera in this show, right?
No, we never got Hera,
didn't we?
Oh, wait. Yeah, we did actually. You're right.
Yeah, we did. No,
did we? It was earlier on. It was in, it definitely happened because they went to Ryloth and.
Yeah.
She met, Omega met her and yada, yada. I'm just saying, I know that because I've been looking up.
Because I've watched it.
and I'm
mind's
working on a
eye.
Kanan and Hera short. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you had to bring it
That's
up.
why I brought
Someone
it up.
left a comment about
Heck,
it.
Yeah,
Who left a comment about
Oh,
it?
on a video, I think.
Oh, yes, indeed. It
Yes,
will
just-
happen.
Just trying to keep you on target.
Yep,
Yeah,
it will
yeah.
happen one of these
Yeah.
days once I feel emotionally
mean-
ready to let that bird fly.
Wow.
Kanan could even show up again.
Yeah,
That's what I-
that
yeah.
would make a lot of sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Because
Hondo
he was
would
in
show
the first
up.
episode.
Maybe the Pirates Guild even found out about Omega and they're coming
Yeah.
after her.
That would be cool if the pirates
That'd be
helped.
dope.
I mean, because I feel like the whole thing's leading. I think one of the episodes is called Uprising, isn't it? So I think the whole thing's leading
Uprising.
from what we're thinking at
To a
least is a
rebellion.
clone rebellion. You know,
Yes.
that they come against the
Mhm.
Empire.
And then the Emperor shows up. And
Yeah, or
wrecks shop.
something might happen where they get destroyed
Some
or
lightning
wrecked.
Or
strike.
Darth
I don't know.
Vader.
Well, we got
I
the what was the evil people that we were dealing with at the beginning of episode 2 with
Politicians.
Hunter and Wrecker, the syndicate, the crime
Yeah,
who-
Yeah,
Pikes.
that's true. When are they
Pikes.
going to come in again?
And the
yes.
who are the other ones?
And who are they looking up at? That's
Yeah.
still a question.
I don't think they were looking up at any. I think it was just more Pike syndicate people.
I think
Well,
there
they
was
brought
a dark.
Pike in, but who was the
Oh.
other people? It was the
Yeah.
Crimson
I don't think it was
Dawn.
Crimson
wasn't
Dawn.
Crimson
it was
Dawn, it was
Red Sun. Or,
Red Suns
Yeah, I
or
think it was a
something.
Red Sun or something like that.
But that's cool. That's
Yeah.
Clone Wars. You know, that's
Yeah.
Maul. That's,
Well, and that's why I think they were looking up at. I still think they were looking up at Maul. I think Red
Oh.
Sun was looking the people that were down below because they did it twice.
Yeah.
They looked up and there was like a shadowy figure. You
yeah.
couldn't make out who it was.
I
And then they
just-
looked back down and they made their decision or whatever. But
So now is it all stormtroopers leading the way, basically? In
yeah,
in
at this
the
point
Empire?
they're already doing. Yeah, that's why they're taking. I think so many of the clones to Mount Tantus just to experiment on at this point.
'Cause clones are out. We
I
know
wonder
that.
if the
Yeah,
Stormtroopers
I wonder
are
if
in.
the clone commandos are going to turn on them
that would be interesting.
because they're still there.
That's some cool armor we didn't talk about either.
Yeah,
Clone
Clone
commandos
commando
are
armor.
cool.
We should have
Commando
talked about
armor.
that.
Well, we talked last week with Bismo,
Yeah,
and if you haven't seen that, check it out about a clone uprising
yeah, one Hondo.
and
That's
how
what things happening.
if that happens, that would be phenomenal. That would be so cool. As long as they give it time to fight it out, and it don't look like Woody running around.
Right. I think the last 2 episodes at least are going to be pretty high quality when it comes to the animation and I hope
Yeah.
the scope. And I just want to see how. I feel like it's going to be back on Mount Tantus. I feel like it's going to have to be at this point back at Mount Tantus, the uprising, getting all the clones out, or whatever is going to happen there. But then it also begs a question: what are they going to do with Tantus after that? Because Tantus, in the Legends with Thrawn and stuff like that, there's a lot more there. So I like to see if they set that up or if they just leave it.
I think there's always a self-destruct button on these places.
Yeah.
And I think
when it comes to clones,
They're
yeah, you just hit a
indisposable.
button, they all die,
and-
right?
And if they got to
my
bury,
clones.
they got to bury
You
the
killed
proof.
all my
You know,
clones.
I think they're going to bury it, and then they're not going to get it. But how?
Or
yeah.
they launch it into orbit.
It
The
becomes
whole
a
mountain.
of spaceship.
Oh, that'd be
crazy.
cool.
And then they land it on another planet.
Isn't that basically what
That'd be
kind
cool.
of happened in? What am I thinking of? Rebels? No, it was just a ship.
Huh?
They had that orbital.
Are you talking about Clone Wars? Like when they actually had those big giant, like
Is that what I'm thinking of?
the movie Clone Wars? They had the big round ships that were
Maybe
just
that's-
taking off.
yeah, maybe
Yeah,
that's
the
what I'm thinking of.
separatist ship.
Separatist ships.
I don't know what I'm thinking of. but-
All right.
I would
Stop
love
your-
for a
your
giant
babbling,
scale,
man.
like they get all their buddies together
Right.
and they
Huge offensive.
They infiltrate. Yeah, they just surround
Yeah.
the mountain entrances, and, then it's
they,
just like
and then they level it, and that's how it
a
ends.
3-episode arc of just like nonstop battles. You know, I mean, that would be very similar to like. I mean, I would love that with Bad Batch, and then people are going to die along the way. Who was the arc in Clone Wars, Dustin, where they were on that planet? And it was just battle after battle.
Ponkrell?
Umbara.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Umbar. Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
awesome.
I would love to see that. That's like a dream. But now that we get nuggets like this, it just gets me excited because it proves that they're taking us in the right direction and that they
Mhm.
haven't completely lost the plot.
Right.
So this is why we like, maybe this is peak Bad Batch, Dustin.
I don't
Maybe
peak
not
Bad
peak Star
Batch,
Wars,
but
I think it's peak Bad Batch.
It's getting there.
this isn't peak Bad
I wouldn't
Batch.
say it's peak.
It's good.
From
It's
what
not
we've
great.
gotten so far, it's about peak.
I'd
for
say
this
peak
season-
Bad Batch was in Clone Wars season 7.
Great
Wings of the
point.
Kiridax?
Or no, the episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1. Yeah,
Episode
Order
1.
66.
Yeah, Order 66. That was my
Right.
favorite.
But then they've been arguing, right? Then Clone or Crosshair, they didn't get along, and now they're getting along. So there's a chance for real goodness.
Yeah.
So it's peak.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot. I think there's a lot more to come. Overall, though, it's a great episode. Good, not great. It's the best episode of this season.
First.
It's the best episode of this season so
great
far.
good.
I wouldn't say it's the best episode of the entire
greater
show.
good.
Sure.
No,
So that's why I'm
definitely
saying
not.
it's not necessarily peak Bad Batch, but or peak Star Wars, but it is good and it's on the right path. I like that they're sticking to a story plot and that we're learning things along the way. They're not. They haven't really given us filler. Things feel like filler, but they're not because it's actually moving the plot along. So
Focused filler.
that's what's good. I like that they're building something. Next week we got 2 episodes, and I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be kind of a mid-season finale, which I'm not sure how they're going to play that because coming from this episode, I'm not sure where they're going. You know, they're going to have to reveal what are
They're gonna hang
what are
out
the
with
episodes
Echo.
of the next.
Oh yeah, good point.
I think I have it here. Hang on. Yeah, so the next one, it's infiltration and extraction. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they could already be building up to getting,
Getting the clones out.
the clones out.
Yeah, Mrs. Manrique said she really likes Emery, and Omega did talk about Emery. So maybe Emery could be like her inside person to
Right.
help get them in, and maybe she will have more of a purpose. Miss Manrique called her. She's like a female version of Tech.
Right. She could fill that
Mm-hmm.
role. Do you guys think, I still think Tech could possibly be alive and be that assassin looking clone trooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's exciting.
I don't know. Is Tech that,
Dark.
assassin?
Well, I think if they
say,
they cloned him. What if that's a clone of Tech?
Oh,
Oh, that'd be sad.
So it's not actually the original Tech, but it's the
No.
clone of Tech.
I want
So then
OG
they are
Tech.
like, they're conflicted because he was he's like Tech, but it's a assassin version of Tech. And
But
they'd
he's
have
got
to.
a hideous, deformed face.
Oh, why'd you go there?
Well, we saw what Echo looked like
What
after being
happened?
mangled by the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
guess
he
they already
looks pretty
kind of
good.
played
He's
that.
got his
Zombie.
color.
That's true.
He's got his color back. He's
Yeah.
looking pretty good.
Anyway, so I think we should
Barely.
wrap this up, though. I'd say
Wrap
a good episode, not great. We already rated it, so
It might be great, actually.
Dan thinks it's great.
It's
The
good.
chat thinks it's great.
The last caveat, Dustin.
okay.
I think
Maybe
I have-
okay. We'll say great, not peak. Okay, we'll say great, not peak.
Great faux peak.
I think it is peak for something, though, Dustin.
Mount Tantus.
It is the peak of Omega for you.
Oh.
So far, actually,
Aw.
yeah, I can't. Well, peak Omega for me is not seeing Omega.
Ah, God.
But if you have to
if
see
we
her,
have to see her, this is probably the best version of her we have got.
Yes.
Good point.
Yep.
Great
Nice.
point, Dan.
Nice.
Indeed.
I mean, I liked her in the hallway.
That's where she's from.
back from the
I know.
corridor.
In the
Yeah.
corridor.
In the corridor.
No, it feels good that they've got it figured out a little bit better. And these people are doing a good job writing so far this season. It's exciting. And it gets me excited for next week's episode.
Mhm.
It's better for the most part as far as story goes. I think it's also because they're forced to, because this is the last episode. Or last season.
Last episode.
Right, but they could
So-
have just phoned it in, you know.
Like they did with the
could've.
first 2 seasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why change now? They're getting paid to do the same thing. Does it
Right.
have to be great? It's been mediocre.
Maybe
Or
they're
worse.
giving it to like lesser known writers.
They
Yeah.
well,
who
yeah,
are
it's
like,
definitely
okay,
not.
guys, let's try to salvage this.
Yeah.
Well, you have to.
We
connect.
love Star Wars.
Well, if you decide the fates of characters, that's canon. So now you have to think about it a little bit harder. You got to
Yeah.
be like, okay, where did
Yeah.
Echo
Mhm.
end up? If you're going to answer these questions, then you got to think about how it connects to the greater
Well, also-
universe.
Also, if you're given like a show, and you have a general template and idea, but you don't have an ending, or you have an ending, but you don't know how long it's going to take to get there.
Mhm.
I mean, if you kind of need to fill it with stuff, and if you don't know the ending and when that ending is going to be, you have to add in a bunch of fillers so you
Yeah.
don't get to the ending too quick. Because if you get to the ending too
Exactly.
quick, then
Yeah.
you're like, crap, what do we do now? So
Yes.
I
don't
think
know.
now that they finally knew the ending, they were like, okay, now that we know the ending of the show, we can hone in and get to the point, which was what we wanted for the first 2 seasons. And it took a while to get there, although we knew most of it because it felt kind of like a repeat in some ways from season 1 to season 2. And even this one a little bit, but at least we're learning a lot more as we're going. And they're staying on a true path and trajectory. So it's great, not peak.
Great,
I think we all enjoyed it.
Great, no peak.
No peak.
I think peak's coming.
Peak is coming.
Yeah.
Peak is coming.
Peeking around the corner.
It's peeking around the corner. Wow. Got him.
Oh my goodness.
Get out right now.
Rex
I am
is
really
not
proud of
happy
that
about
one.
that.
Rex is like, get out.
Rex is like,
Go on, get.
are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because the callback to the best episode of season 2, as Ms. Manrique said, with Crosshair and Mayday.
Yeah.
Like, just that weaving in and out of this episode for me was
Yeah.
just, it brought so many happy memories.
the respect he showed those
Yeah.
other clones.
Pretty
too was
clever.
awesome.
It's pretty
It was
clever
so-
to win maybe the fans back a little bit.
Yeah. They like, this is
Like,
what the
remember?
fans have been wanting.
Remember there were good
Remember there
episodes
were
of
good
Bad Batch?
episodes.
Yeah. And they can lean into that
Yeah.
heaviness, and they will, I think, even more as the season goes on. But I want some fun with Hondo. I want some fun with the people that come and get them. That get paid to go get people. What are they called?
Bounty hunters?
Bounty
yeah, that
hunters.
too.
People that come and get them, they get paid to go get them. I
Go the
prefer to
long
be called
way.
that. I'm not a bounty hunter.
Galactic
I'm a
battle.
person
I'm just a person who
gets paid to go get other people. A bounty hunter?
Battle in
No.
space.
It sounds like something Hondo would say.
Right?
Sounds
Yeah.
exactly like what
I'm just a
Hondo would say.
mediator
You know what?
of goods and services
Yeah.
between people.
Between-
A bounty hunter. No.
Yes. Hannah says seeing Mayday again was emotional.
That was very emotional. Yeah, agreed. And the respect that he took the time
yeah.
to pick those helmets out
Yeah.
really showed a lot. And his character development, which I appreciated. One Hondo.
And he's
appreciate
admitted, and that's what I was going to say. He came forth and he confessed to Hunter,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
leader,
He's like, I
that
killed an
he made
Imperial
some
officer.
mistakes. And that's the
Yeah.
only way, as character development goes, that you can say and agree and feel for that character, right?
Exactly, Dan. Exactly. And that's why we like Crosshair as a
Yeah.
character and why we don't like Omega, because she has never done that.
Yeah.
You
She's
never-
never made a mistake, and she's never apologized for the mistake
Yeah.
that she never made.
And that's why she's unrelatable. And that's why we love Crosshair, because he's very relatable.
Yeah.
And we like him. He's just cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Let's end this section of the show. It's been great. Did that actually hit me?
No.
Oh wow. I
Well, I mean,
flinched
it
for like
got
no reason,
close.
actually. But
Try it again.
I thought it was there was actually something in it. This
now
is
the
my,
cup.
This is my Rex face.
Perfect timing.
Yes. All right, cool. So that wraps up the spoiler section of Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 5, The Return. Interesting return. I did not know it was going to be a return, but anyway, we're going
That's
back
also
into it.
another word for the enter key.
Let us know what you thought in the
Yeah.
comments if you're
Return.
watching this back, right, Dustin?
Yes, and if you're watching this again later, let us know in the comments below if you liked this episode or if you didn't. We would like to know: is it great, not peak, or is it peak
Not great.
and also great? Let us know. We'd like to.
This is
hear all
peak,
of your
but it
thoughts.
sucks.
Wow.
Wow.
This is peak, but the other side of the iceberg. It's the
Yeah.
bottom peak.
True.
Whoa.
Actually, that's the taller part, right? There's more hidden under the water,
Underneath.
so that's even better.
Deep.
Peak.
Deep.
It's a hidden peak.
All right, let's get to some
Deep peak.
deep peak. Oh my goodness! All right, let's get to some Holonet news, Dan.
How in the news?
Everything's under control. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Oh shoot!
I think you might
Sorry.
have muted.
Yeah, we got some Holonet news here. There's been so much Holonet news that's happened in the last couple weeks that we have not touched on. So we're gonna try and recap some of it. But yes, fact checker, you have something.
Well, Miss Manrique just reminded me there are a few questions in the Q&A that are about this episode. So
Oh.
should we touch on those real fast?
Yeah. Maybe.
We don't have to. You're the
Dustin's
host.
like,
You're
No,
really
we're
debating.
just gonna save it. We're gonna save it for.
Okay.
Shoot. Well,
There's only.
wish you would have said that before I
2,
moved on to the next
3.
section.
I know. Sorry.
just do it.
Let's just do it. Let's go back. We're going back, people.
Calling an audible.
Calling an audible. It's a live show every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern
7-ish.
Standard Time. And we always we stay on target. Really great. All right.
The chat helps us.
Hit me with the first question.
Okay, so first question from Bismo. Favorite 3 character performances for this episode of Bad Batch? Question mark.
Favorite 3 character
Performances.
D. Bradley Baker. Favorite
1 through 3.
Here's what Bismo said. For me, it's Crosshair, Hunter, and Echo being back.
For this episode?
Yes, for this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite
Crosshair's number 1.
Character,
Yeah.
3 character
I think it's pretty
performances.
unanimous.
Yeah.
Hunter was in. I liked Hunter being Mayday.
Did a
Mayday's the
fantastic
spirit
job.
of Mayday.
I think Tech, when his voice showed up in Crosshair,
Crosshair really emulated.
he really did.
I mean,
No, Bismarck nailed it right on
Yeah.
the head there, I think. Yeah, definitely Dan, were you finishing in that
no,
statement?
no. It was Crosshair, and then Hunter talking to Crosshair. Hunter being Hunter again. He was hunting the truth of Crosshair.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Hunter.
Yeah, that's a great point.
He could sense something was off, and we're like, did he even have that ability anymore? I thought he lost it back in
Yeah, it's like, has he ever used his ability?
He
Like,
left it back
other
on
than like once?
Pabu.
Pabu!
Pabu!
But
Yeah, good question.
yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree. I would agree.
Dude,
And yeah, what else?
Pabu backwards is Ubop.
You bap. You bap.
Ubap.
You bap.
Bap. He bap.
He bap. We she we
We
bap.
she bap. Bapology?
The study of you bap.
Ubapology?
Oh,
Study
man.
of Ubap?
Stay on target.
It's
Wow.
first grade,
Okay.
Dustin.
It is. Yeah, no, that's a great point though. Great question.
Super great.
Great question,
Great question,
yo,
bitch.
Bismo.
You nailed it though. You said it. All right, keep
All
going.
right, next question from Icy. Since Crosshair has his armor back now, do you guys think that Crosshair will paint his armor like the rest of the Bad Batch, or will he keep it in the original colors?
He's going to paint it pure white. Because he's redeemed.
Ooh,
It would be kind of.
wow.
Oh, wow.
wow, that's
I'm just kidding. He's probably going to keep it. He's probably going to be like, you guys are idiots.
I don't know. He's kind of reborn again, so it'd be kind of fresh to give him a new paint job. You know.
yeah.
with
I think
the-
all of them should do a new paint job at
Well,
some
yeah.
point. They kind of have been evolving a little bit over the show.
Yeah, but what is the paint job? It's just goofy looking.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
blue
it's-
undertones.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
kind
like,
of
what is that?
kind of mismatched.
Like paint it solid colors, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're
What
going.
are you doing?
It's like they're going for like a more rebels look with stuff
Mhm.
without being the rebels.
They
and
got
still having that like
Sabine.
clone.
They got Sabine to design their
Yeah,
armor.
right. All just every color.
They met her like once and they never showed it on screen.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she'd be real young at this point, wouldn't she? Yeah. If
At
we
least 3
saw a
years
young Hera
Sabine
Yeah.
would be like a child,
Yeah.
literally a child
child,
on
A
Mandalore.
child. The
Yeah.
child.
I think it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see them all kind of get a different armor, something that maybe synced up a little bit between all of them a little bit more. I mean, they
Meets in
all
the
kind of
middle.
have that dark
Mhm.
tone to their armor. which is
Yeah.
They
cool.
should, yeah.
But I think a refresh is in order, and they could do something that I think would look cool,
Nice
and you could
Refresh.
sell more toys that way.
Merchandising.
Merchandising.
Very true.
If it looks cool.
Skylark said, "Yeah, Crosshair seems kind of straight laced, like he would want to keep it original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See that too, or some original tones if he did paint it again."
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Good question.
Good question. Great point. I like it. And we've been talking a lot about armor tonight. We kind of got a theme going. Worked out. Works out. All right. What's the next question?
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
Back-
my
So this
last
kind of
question.
relates, but it's more for you guys here.
Oh.
So from Mrs. Manrique, speaking of Crosshair, who is the most loyal / disloyal of you four?
Matt.
Because he's not here.
Because he's not
Yeah.
here. He can't defend himself,
Oh,
which
wow.
makes it Nick.
Oh, he threw us in under the bus.
It's obviously Irby.
Yeah, Irby has really
Irby's
changed.
definitely a problem.
He's looking at me
Yes,
funny.
she means us four. Yeah,
Wait, who's the most disloyal?
loyal and disloyal.
Oh, loyal and
Oh,
disloyal.
Dustin's the most loyal.
I am?
He's like we're like 2 inseparable weenie dogs.
Is Gus there?
Is Gus there? Am I in the pound?
She said fact checker incled. So I got
Oh yeah, she's the most disloyal.
No.
She barely even does her job.
Wow.
Goodness, Nick. I have like
Throwing shade.
40 jobs.
Throwing shade.
Yeah, who gave you
You have 40 jobs? Is that what you said?
basically?
Name them all.
No.
Do it now.
Giving you cough drops.
She's doing the
When
job of
Yeah.
D. Bradley
You're dying.
Baker.
Yeah, we're
Barely any medicinal value whatsoever.
we're all actually
I
just
mean, they are nice though.
we're all just actors,
Takes
and
the edge off.
the fact checker is just doing
off.
all of
She's
our voices.
actually like holding us hostage right now, making us do this show.
Whoa.
That's how loyal she
We don't
is.
even know
Oh
what
my-
Star Wars is.
Oh,
no,
my goodness.
not at all.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess in what regard, it's kind of hard to say. I think we're all very.
No, I already said it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Nick-
you have Nick's
Nick-
answer.
No, I think we're all pretty loyal
Yeah.
to each
Loyal.
other because we
Except the
have a
fact
long track record of doing things together.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Nick might be the most loyal. He just shows up and does
I
stuff.
do show up. I get promised food.
And
then
the
I show
show
up.
he just showed up when we called him like, hey, you want to talk to us?
All right,
very-
off the street. Be like,
that's
you
a
want
great
you guys want
point.
to do a Star Wars show? Okay.
Okay.
I love
That's
how
a
we
great
told
point.
people that and they actually believed us.
Yeah. Like literally
They're
grabbed
like,
you off
did you
the
really
street.
just get them off the street?
We should reenact
Like,
that,
no.
Nick.
We should do a
go
short or something.
like
Hey,
film.
Nick, you want to? He's like just a bum on the road. It's
I'm
like
not
a-
even a bum. I'm like super wealthy.
Yeah, well, it's super nice.
I went
Like
backwards.
you actually come from like a ton of money, and
Yeah.
we were like, dude, you want to?
Huge limo going by.
Yeah, you're like, dude, you want to be
We
on our
just-
show? He's like, yeah, sure.
We
Hops
just
on. Got nothing
abducted
better to
him.
do.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just
Just
Oh,
throws
family
money
fortune?
over his-
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't need this.
Throws the,
I'm gonna have some fun.
yeah.
Gonna live like the other half.
yeah. Oh,
I'd like to
man.
see how peasants act for a little while.
Right? Yeah. Oh my
That's
gosh.
Nick. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, I think we're all very loyal.
Oh, maybe Rex is the loyalist.
I think Rex is very
Realist.
well.
Whoa.
The most
Rex.
disloyal is Vader. I think.
Vader is
Yeah, but Vade's
definitely.
ain't here.
That's why.
That's
he's
why we're
disloyal.
saying it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think Mando back there. He's pretty loyal.
Bates is here. Bates is here.
from beyond, from beyond.
All
right.
Irby, the jury's still out on Irby.
Yeah. He's really quiet back
I don't
there.
know. He looks a little different. I don't trust him.
He keeps shape shifting.
He's
He
shape
does.
shift. He's a little shifty. I pulled my
a
knife on him earlier.
Traitor.
Traitor.
Betrayal. All right. I gotta go.
And
On
with
that
that,
bombshell.
Speaking of loyalty.
speaking of loyalty, Nick's leaving.
Yeah.
Wardrobe change.
Just wait till he leaves, then we'll say it's him.
Wait, but Nick, actually, Nick, there's a question for you.
No.
You have to stay and answer this question.
Oh, he's done.
What is it?
From Bismo, why did you avoid me last week? Hath mine dictate for Andor ruptured our friendship?
Dude, I
Half
was
my
dying.
It doesn't matter. In life and death, you're loyal, right, Nick?
I am. I would have been here if I could have been, but
You were
you
dying.
didn't want to see me
It would
I
have been
was
hilarious that some
on the brink of death.
Oh,
It's just sweating
I
profusely.
still kind of am.
yeah.
he's still
With my
getting back.
voice.
Yeah.
With my voice.
Have you
Do I
tried
have
to work? Have you
stitches?
tried to work this week, Nick? I don't know if you have even been able to.
Does he need that?
He's gone.
Yeah, no, I've worked this week. All last week, I didn't work a day.
Oh man.
Wow,
Or-
that's how bad it
Okay, I
was.
worked one day, but I left early
Yeah,
because I was sick.
Facts with Nick.
man.
And every day I was like,
What'd
oh
you-
man, I'll be better tomorrow.
Here, what
And
did
I
you eat for
wasn't.
breakfast, Nick?
Uh,
No, I'm joking. It's a joke. You don't have to actually.
What day
Some
is
pizza,
it? Some roast beef, some chicken, a pizza. No,
You
I mean
get
just
that
this morning.
reference.
Some roast beef, a chicken, a pizza.
Well, Bismo said, "Hope you're feeling better, Nick." Just kidding. We'll have to talk again soon.
Yeah, man. Also, I heard the song. It's coming together pretty good.
Yeah, tease.
I was like, holy
Ooh.
crap, this is awesome.
yeah.
Oh,
It was like the
nice.
first I'd heard of it
Yeah.
ever.
We just
My goodness.
See, talk
Look.
about loyalty. These guys didn't even tell me you guys were doing a song. And then they're like, oh, here's the song with this in it. I'm like, what? And then I listened to it and I'm like, oh man, this is great. This is a great song. How come I wasn't in on this?
No, we said it like 3 times, didn't we?
Yeah, they were like, yeah,
you
Nick-
just got to read things that are sent
He
to
played
you.
It's not-
on Hunter's song and he was not good.
Whoa.
It's actually not finished yet, Nick. So there's more to come with that.
There's
Oh,
more.
goody.
Oh, he knew Bismo. He's just being goofy.
Yes.
And actually, Nick,
They're so disloyal.
Grub Killer says you need more Taco Bell in your system to fight off the germs.
Dude,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I had Taco Bell
Last week before he got
And
breakfast.
sick.
that's
2
what
days ago.
happened.
and it wasn't really great,
Whoa,
which is
whoa.
odd because it's usually like
Oh my
really good. I ate it still,
What is
obviously,
happening?
because it's Taco Bell.
Obviously.
Obviously.
But I was like, man, why? It was just slightly off.
Maybe it's because you were still sick, kind of. You know?
Maybe.
Sometimes when you're sick, things don't
Maybe.
taste the same.
But my taste buds should know better.
Get in line, taste buds.
Well, and I think it was just made funny because like there was no sour cream in it
Yeah.
until like the last bite.
Oh,
and I
that's-
was
yeah.
like, why do you guys do that?
They get the proportions wrong.
You
It,
did proportions.
it does get a little goofy.
Our voices.
Our voices.
Yeah.
All right.
But hopefully by next week, my raspy voice will be fixed. See
Raspy
you later,
Nick.
everybody.
All right. This has been fun with Nick, everyone. And tune in next week's show to find out what Nick's been up to. See ya.
Oh, no. That's
Oh my
funny.
goodness. All right. Wow. What a show we've got for you guys tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
And now we're done. No, we're not.
No,
Actually, we do
no.
have more questions, but we also have some Holonet news that we're going to be getting into here real short.
We'll
but
try that again.
our pilot just left, so I can't move on to that. Well, we kind of
you
already
can.
did.
You already did the stinger.
We're gonna do it, people. It's a live show. Thanks for tuning in, listening, watching. Wow. Okay, it doesn't always go the way we plan, but that's okay.
Yep.
All right, so Holonet news. We got some Holonet news happening, man. Lots of stuff. Like I said, the past couple weeks, there's been a lot of news that's dropped, and we're probably missing some. So if we are missing any news, drop it in the chat or comment below, or send us a question on it, and we will definitely address it. I think one of the first ones that I have here, that's actually some sad news starting off.
Wow. Going dark. Dark side
We're
Dusty.
going dark. We're going dark, but we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back.
Okay.
But which I kind of wish Nick was here for this one, actually, but it's
Oh,
fine. He's
You didn't have Taco Bell.
he betrayed us. He is the most disloyal.
Exactly.
Now that he's gone, I can say it.
And I agree. Because you can't yell at me.
Right? No, but we got Salacious Crumb, the voice actor for Salacious Crumb, Mark Dodson. He unfortunately passed away at the young age of 64. I mean, that's very young. That's very young. And yeah, man, it's just it's sad. It's Salacious Crumb is such a hilarious character, and
Yeah.
just and he also did Gremlins. He was the voice of the Gremlins in that movie. It's a very popular movie as well. But we're very sad to hear of his passing. I know he's done more. Obviously, he's done lots of voice acting over the years, but gone too soon. Again, another actor. Would have been great to hear him that voice again in The Mandalorian. You know, him do that. That would have been just a nice little treat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
because the little monkey was in the planet.
Kowakian monkey lizard.
Yeah. Okay.
They did show that. Yeah, actually, the one looked like they were eating it.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
It's a dark again, especially in context. but but then they showed them thriving and flourishing in the trees. Kowakian monkey lizards on what was the name of that planet again? I forget now.
That's where
Narkina 5.
No, that's the.
Oh, what am I saying? No, Andor.
The prison.
No. Shoot, I forget now.
Where what's his face was at?
Yeah, Mendo again. Man, yeah, Carl Weathers. Man, there's a lot of sad stuff going on this
Thank
past.
you, Dan.
What was it?
Navarro.
Navarro. Thank you. I'm sorry. I forget everything when I'm on it. But yeah, so he passed away way too soon. That is way too young, and he will definitely be missed in the Star Wars community. I heard that he was a fan favorite when it came to cons, and anybody that met him, they just said he was a delight to talk to, and sounded like he had a lot of fun with that character, and then even still bringing that character to life at con for people. So definitely gone too soon. Our thoughts and prayers with his family out there, but he will definitely be missed. So all right, well, let's move on to some more interesting news, I guess you could say. In the last couple of weeks, there was some news that the Acolyte is targeting June 5th release date. So June 5th.
So it's not a myth.
It's not a myth.
It's gonna happen.
I think it's definitely going to happen at this point. There's been a lot that's developed with it. For some time, I never thought it was going to see the light of day, but and I think it might be in their best interest not to, but they're definitely going full steam ahead on this. There's some interesting things that could surprise us. If it's good, we'll say it's good. But just knowing a lot of the behind the scenes stuff with it, I'm just not a fan. I'm not thrilled. I'm not excited.
Yeah, well, Icy pointed out we don't even have a trailer for it yet.
They
and we're
don't.
in March.
And
we're almost to mid-March and no trailer.
Yeah,
2 months away.
And if they're looking at the
3
June,
months.
but they might not. They're probably trying not to step on the Bad Batch's toes at this point.
I don't believe that because that's what they do best.
That's true. Yeah, with Mando.
With Mando last
Pilot's
year.
back. He's coming back, baby.
Why do they do that? But no, I'm appreciating that. Actually, the Bad Batch is getting its own front and center right now. And then, of course, they want to. If you think about when they would release it, wouldn't it make sense to let the Bad Batch run its thing and then do the Acolyte so that people stay subscribed?
Right. I see Mr. Enrique saying Revan.
And then perhaps
Acolyte.
In the Acolyte.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think the time era lines up unless they're going to show, because Revan is the old Republic. This is, the Acolyte takes place only about 100 years or so before the Phantom Menace. But the Revan, I believe, is thousands of years in the past, unless you're talking about Revan's Force Ghost / Sith entity in a
reference, not an actor.
Okay.
So
Reference.
Reference?
Oh yeah, they might. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they might in a
yeah.
Sith holocron. That might be the way that they reference Revan. That would be interesting. That'd be cool to see. Revan is a really cool character. I just hope they don't screw it up. That's the only thing that makes me nervous about that. It sounds like they're leaning into more of the dark side with the Acolyte than anything. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'm not exactly the most keen on anything to do with that time era, the High Republic. The only other thing, which I will say here, is that we did finally finish Jedi Survivor. Speaking of the High Republic, that's the best thing that's come out of the High Republic is that game. They touched upon the High Republic in that game, and they did a really good job with that. And I really enjoyed that game, man. If you missed the last stream, go back and watch it because we had Hunter on live with us. And we had a blast. We were having such a great time. We're gonna have to. Yeah, Grub Killer was there. Trucker Cow. We did the whole game with a beard and majestic hair and a majestic beard. And then Grub Killer wanted a mustache. The only mustache I could find was a handlebar mustache. And then we went with the most 70s
I'm trying to pull it up here for people
70s
to see,
hair. And we finished the game on that note, which was absolutely hilarious. The commentary there, Trucker
right
Cal
here.
was absolutely hilarious.
You can see it on the screen now.
Oh, can they see it? Can you get to a close up of him?
Let's see if we can find Trucker Cal.
You go to the very end.
Yeah,
his
Yeah.
face
true.
is
It was.
Well, Bismo, real fast while you're loading that,
Yeah,
said
yeah.
he is kind of excited for Acolyte.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we could be totally surprised. You never know. It could turn out to be a great show. But we're not seeing. Look at that just Trucker Cal right there.
Oh man,
We
That's how
finished
it
the whole thing.
finished.
It's so 70s, 80s, but
Just retro.
the joke we were leaning into in that was.
Well, don't give it away.
I'm not.
Okay.
You got to watch it, and I
Yeah,
want to do a short
was-
on it because it was absolutely hilarious. But anyway, if you weren't there, definitely go back and check it out. It was a lot of fun. And if you guys want us to do any more games, let us know. I know a lot
They
of
were
people in the
talking about
chat
it
were talking about it.
pre-stream.
So we're
Yep.
just trying to maybe decide on which one we want to do next.
Right. Well, there's Battlefront 2
Schedules.
Classic coming out.
The classic's coming out.
Right? Yeah. I might even try that. But
Yeah.
it depends on what consoles they're on.
Right. One Hondo. But yeah, but that was a great one. So thank you everybody who joined us for that. That was a lot of fun. If you haven't yet, go back and watch it. It's worth a watch. Even if you just turn on and listen to it. Some of the commentaries are hilarious. If I do say so myself. But no, it's mostly the guests that we had on while we did that. Anyway, we were talking about the Acolyte. So targeting June 5th release date. Are you excited, Dan, for the Acolyte?
Actually, yeah.
What?
That's pretty close to my birthday.
Oh, good point.
it's a
So
birthday
it'll be
gift to you.
interesting to, well, it depends. But, usually the first episode's interesting. So I'm excited to see some Jedi and Sith flying around in a new time era, kind of away from things that we know.
Yeah.
And if
New
it's
Star
terrible,
Wars.
it's terrible, but it's something new, at least, that we haven't seen. So I haven't heard much behind the scenes. There's a chance that it could be decent, but maybe it's going to be horrible. I don't know. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I guess we have to wait really and see. We haven't
Yeah.
even got a trailer, so I think a trailer is going to give us
That'd
a
be
lot more.
helpful.
Yeah,
So
I am
helpful.
surprised they haven't
Mhm.
given us a trailer on that yet. That is not really a great sign to me.
I mean,
So,
I'm not the most of all the things that we thought that we speculated that might come out this year. Acolyte wasn't up there for me.
yeah,
I would say, Andor season 2. No, I was thinking even
Yeah.
what was the other one? Skeleton Crew was a
Skeleton
little bit
Crew.
higher, and then Acolyte, and then
Yeah.
Jedi Tales of the Jedi if that came out, and then Bad Batch was up there too because it's Clone War or it's animated. So
the crazy thing is like the only like sure thing I still feel like this entire year is Bad Batch, obviously because we're
Mhm.
watching it.
Yeah.
but but everything else, I still feel like there's potential that is up in the air.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
there's
are going to get
questions.
Acolyte, but
Yeah.
it's still like
Mhm.
without a trailer, without a solid release date.
Yeah. They're
I mean,
struggling.
I've even heard rumor about Skeleton Crew might have got pushed back again.
Yikes.
So we don't know if that's coming out.
Well, the
That-
Bad Batch trailer didn't come out until mid-January, and it was already slated to start end of February.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so close. That is not a lot of promotion time.
that's not a lot of time.
But they've had a lot of turnover at Disney, and
There's been a lot of
craziness
stuff
going on,
happening
so
at Disney and
they're struggling.
Lucasfilm. A lot of stuff happening. So it's it's interesting. It might be great. It might be great. It might be. The live action part of it is intriguing. I just feel like live action for anything just holds a different type of weight to it. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't necessarily
Pressure.
mean it's going to be better, but for
Mhm.
some reason people get
yeah.
behind live action so much more than they do animation. Although I do
Mhm.
feel like there's been almost more
Schedules.
peak animation Star Wars than there has been, at least during Disney's time,
Mhm.
than there has been live action. But anyway, so that's the Acolyte news. A fun one here that I did want to touch upon
All right.
is Ahmed Best. He posted a mocap image that was very interesting, and he had some very interesting hashtags with it.
Mhm.
He named drop. He said one. I think the title said. I really should have sent you a thing for this, Dan. Sorry, but the title of it said, "Once I always think I'm out, and just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in," which is very interesting. It's also Activision. He touched upon there, which was
Yeah.
Activision is typically more Call of Duty with a lot of stuff.
Interesting.
So yeah, Dan, I think is working on maybe possibly bringing up his image if we can. Yeah, look at that. Ahmed Best back in the mocap, which if you don't know who Ahmed Best is who played Jar Jar Binks in the prequels. He got a lot of hate for that, but I always thought it was, for me being a child, comic relief enough for me.
Mhm.
I was fine with Ahmed Best, and he did the best he did. You cannot blame him for that character anyway.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that they brought him back. And if you haven't seen it yet, Jedi Temple Challenges, great show. Even just the moments with him and his backstory of him being a Jedi, which they actually make canon in Mandalorian season 3. I love that they did that. Master Kelleran Beck
Yep.
is his name, and he also I think he puts that in the hashtag
He
as
did,
too.
yeah.
Kelleran Beck. So we have no idea what character is he playing.
All of them.
Yeah,
Just kidding, I
if
don't
they bring Jar Jar back, that would be crazy.
That'd be awesome.
I like Miss Manrique said Darth Jar Jar video game. I would love that absolutely. If they made Darth Jar Jar canon, I would probably freak out. And
Did you see the latest Bismo What If? I'm sure you did.
Yeah. The Darth one. That was a great
Darth
one.
Jar
Cool,
Jar. It
yeah.
was well crafted. I really enjoyed it. But
And
it's-
good voice acting. for
yeah,
it, too.
the voice and everything
Mhm.
was solid.
Definitely.
But it plays
Yeah.
into that. If he was a legit bad guy, what would happen?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. Yeah. If
What
you haven't
if?
yet, go check that out. Bismo, man, he's always doing great work over there. That was a great what if. So definitely check it out. But yeah. So we have no idea really what character he's gonna be, but
Yeah.
it's interesting that he's teasing it. I'm also very interested in the fact that it was Activision, which begs to question because there's do we know who owns Activision? Is Activision owned by EA? Because there's been some news that just dropped recently about EA.
I feel like Activision is a sub thing under EA, or they've worked together before.
So this might
Rings
be
a
a
bell.
problem then, because
They might have been dropping him.
Star Wars Theory just came out with a video saying that Bob Iger, basically to get out of a contract with EA, he upped like all their
Fees,
which basically forces EA to pull out of the deal, and basically means like they're getting rid of EA doing Star Wars games.
Yes.
So I don't
Who
know.
owns it? That was your question?
Yeah.
It's not great. A bunch of big investors, we'll say.
Own Activision?
Yeah, big investment companies.
Oh, okay. But not EA.
Oh, no, that's what I looked up. EA.
Oh, no.
Activision?
Who owns Activision?
Oh,
I'm
got it.
sorry.
Okay, sorry.
But yeah,
Microsoft.
so Microsoft owns Activision.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, they do.
Yeah, so anyway, I just thought that was fun though. It's just fun to see Jar Jar Binks back. I'm hoping we get a lot of mocap version of Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah,
He could
that's
be in a
awesome.
totally different game. It could just be a fun tease in general. We have no idea. And that could even just be him doing mocap again. Maybe not even those characters, because he names them all.
and then he's
as
just
a fun
trolling us
tease.
by
And
mentioning
he's
Keller and
just
Beck.
trolling us because it might be a totally different character. He's just getting to play in the game.
don't
Although,
know.
why do you bring
Nice.
him back? I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's interesting. There's a lot of interesting things happening. But I love Ahmed Best. He's awesome.
Yep.
And also, so we got some more news. We got Andor Season 2 releasing end of the year or early next year. They're, again, a little wishy-washy on these details. But at least we know it's coming. We have a projected time. I hope it goes the end of this year and leads into the new year.
That'd
I
be
think
great.
that would be a great way to do it, kind of span the holidays.
The best Christmas present
That
you
would be
can
the
get.
best Christmas.
Right, Bismo?
Right, Bismo? I think it really would be the best Christmas present for all of us here.
It would be amazing.
And speaking of Andor Season 2, they did just drop that they're going to be releasing the Blu-ray version of the show, right, on disc
Yeah.
for Andor Season 1, Obi-Wan, and they said in Obi-Wan, the complete series, which means they are not doing a Season 2 of Obi-Wan. That quietly
Ouch.
confirmed that Obi-Wan Season 2 is not happening.
That's so sad for Ewan McGregor.
It's sad for Ewan, for
But
sure.
Can they bring him into other stuff? Because that was, I mean, you can't, he's so good. We need more.
That's the thing. That's what it bothers me the most,
Yeah.
for the fact that like that is the biggest like missed opportunity ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how disappointing. Seriously, ever since Disney bought flipping
Yeah.
Star Wars, all anybody could talk about for years and years on end was,
Yeah.
when are we getting, Kenobi, a Kenobi
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
a Kenobi show? They teased it for years,
10
like
years or
10
something.
years or something like that.
Mhm.
And then when they finally came out with it, was the worst show that Disney Star Wars has ever come out with. I mean,
Yeah.
by far. That show makes me want to throw up in my mouth. Like, we went on like a 3-hour rant on that finale of that show, dude. Like, horrible.
Yeah,
Just
it was-
absolute garbage. Like,
It needed
what were
it.
you thinking? Like, everybody should have been fired at Disney for that, and should have been taken from them and given to someone else for how horribly they treated that
was-
character. They treated that series, multiple characters. That is
We got
pure garbage.
One-upped by some random inquisitor. It's like,
Oh
good grief.
man, don't even get. Yeah, let's not even get into that. But at least we know we do not have to suffer through any more of that under Disney's reign. My hope for Obi-Wan in the future for me is potentially
A movie.
a movie based off of the Kenobi book. That is my favorite. That does not break canon. It's way more interesting. It does things for Obi-Wan Kenobi's character. So much more likable. They actually have female lead characters in it, which but done right.
And they could harken back
It's
to
so
Satine with that.
Yes, dude. It would fit so much better.
Qui-Gon could actually,
Fits so much
communicate.
better.
Maybe Yoda. Maybe you bring in Maul. No, I don't know about that. But,
All right, Hannah. Whenever Hannah's in charge, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take that pre-existing material that does not break canon,
correct.
and we're going to turn it into a movie, and it's going to give fans what they really wanted to see, not the garbage that we got. And people will love it because it's actually well crafted and well made.
Nice.
So, and I think if you
Always.
brought that to life, it'd be perfect. But yeah, so anyway, that was interesting. I think there were some more shows they were dropping in that for the DVD collection. I think Mandalorian season 3 was in that, I believe,
Oh, nice.
and some more. So yeah, that was some interesting news that dropped. We're kind of rapid firing through a lot of news. We've missed a lot. We haven't had a chance to talk about anything. And you guys stop me if you have anything more to say. I'm just kind of blowing through it.
No, you're
bit.
right on
It's
it. There's
good
been a lot
stuff.
going on behind the scenes,
Yeah.
setting up what's to come and what's not to come.
Yeah, exactly. Great point.
But what's to come next, Dustin? Is that your next piece of news?
Yeah. So, the Mandalorian and Grogu will shoot in California for 92 days. They actually are. It's funny how they're giving us like actual
92 days?
Yeah.
Specifics. Yeah.
I was thinking 91 was a lot. And then they said 92.
I know.
And I was like, that gets me really excited for this show. I'm a professional sarcasm person.
right. But
Are they going to change the title, Dustin? Are they going to give it a
I
real
really
title?
hope so because that is such a. I mean, it'll be okay as long as the show / movie is good. You know.
Yeah.
I still have my doubts in some ways for what we got with season 3.
Yeah.
But if it's a focused, and also the way they're announcing, I'm still not 100% sure on the whole show leading into a movie idea. I don't know. There's a lot of questions there. But
true.
But yeah, the Mandalorian it'll shoot for 92 days in California, but it gets one of the state's largest tax credits ever. I mean, so the California government is giving back $21.75 million in tax credits. Sounds a little desperate to me.
Oh, definitely desperate.
I mean, is everybody moving out of California at this point?
Is it
Hopefully.
desperate, Dustin? Is it desperate? Or is it good for Mandalorian because now they can make an even better movie?
Hopefully.
Are they just really looking? Is California really just looking out for the Star Wars fans by giving their best movie franchise opportunity a discount, a deep discount? Is this a win for Star Wars fans?
It's a good spin.
That's a real. You should work for California.
Come to California. We have cows. I don't know.
That we're gonna murder for the
Mandalorian
environment.
film. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
But yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. It was an interesting bit of news where that they're so specific with the amount of days that they're shooting in California. I hope they go outside of the void or
The volume.
The volume. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
The volume. I hope they go outside the volume a little bit more and they
Me
actually
too.
shoot more on locations because I think Andor really benefited from that. That's one of the things I really liked about Andor.
I guess what this could tell us with the 92 specifically, let me go back to it. 92 days. Is that the entire production or does a film like this take more like 120 days, right? Does that give them any time
Yeah.
to go off to like England or something or some other
It might. Yeah. They
nefarious
could
planet?
They could shoot on location in other areas. I mean, do they do that with any of the other scenes from Mandalorian? I'm not sure. We'd have to look that up.
I mean, but to be
But-
fair, California is quite a sprawling place.
It
There's
is.
a lot of terrain.
yeah.
And
I would.
Settings they can choose from.
Yeah.
It'd be cool though for them to go to England. I would like them to go to Pinewood Studios. I just feel like that
I know.
iconicness of Pinewood Studios would be a great addition to its repertoire of Mandalorian filming. But yeah, you go Redwoods. I mean, that's even original Star Wars. There's so much that's shot in California, but all over the place. But yeah, I don't know if that gives us more time or not. It's interesting because they're doing the show, right, and then the movie. So because isn't that what they said they were dropping? It was going to be like
season 4.
yeah, season
And
4
the movie.
and the movie.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and they
It's
just keep
crazy.
talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu. They're saying film.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I don't
All
know.
of
There's a
it,
lot of
yeah.
what ifs there, but I'm excited. I'm still very excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu because that's been the best thing that we've gotten out of Star Wars since Disney took over.
Yes.
Even with a little bit of the falling short in season 3, I still think season 1 and 2 is the best that we've got. So I am excited. You guys excited for that?
Yeah, it's going to be
Oh,
a good time at the theater, and it's going to make $1 billion. if it does half of what it's supposed to do. You
Yeah,
know,
The danger there, in my opinion, is
if they ruin him.
well, no, the whole season going into a movie thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's the danger for me. If they screw up in that season, nobody's gonna go see that movie.
Yeah, but you know they did that with Ahsoka, and you didn't particularly love Ahsoka, but by the time they released that one episode in the theater, they had built up some good hype. So it's possible for them to
They
recreate
hadn't given
that.
us much else. So
But they had built up the hype with Anakin showing up, and you know,
it's funny
movie
how they only
stars.
had that one in theaters because it was the best episode of
it
the
was
entire
interesting.
series,
It kind of
and not the ending.
it did tip their hat that was going to be the best
True.
of the
I think they knew it was gonna suck the rest of the time, and most of the beginning too.
But do you think they could do you think they could recreate something similar for Mandalorian, doesn't and end off? Maybe they say season 4 of The Mandalorian there's only 6 episodes. There's basically 2 3-episode arcs, and then the third arc would be the movie.
The movie, I think they could. You know, the thing I have that's giving me the best hope for that is Favreau. I think
Okay.
we've already seen what Filoni can do, basically on his own. Maybe with Favreau helping him a little bit with Ahsoka, but I think when you get Favreau in charge and really leading the charge, and he's actually able to do what he wants, and that's the caveat. We don't know. We don't know if is KK behind a lot of this stuff. Has Bob Iger stepped in and he's trying to rein in Star Wars and the negative impact it's had? Is he giving creative control back to Favreau? If he's giving creative control back to Favreau and he's letting Favreau do what Favreau wants to do with Dave Filoni helping him, at least canon wise, I think it could be absolutely amazing. I think it could. And that's why they're leading off with it. That's why I think they're leading off the movies with Favreau, because they're putting their best foot forward. Because if you remember, Favreau is who started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that was putting their best foot forward. And they didn't even have that in mind until they came out with Iron Man.
There's no data.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Well, momentarily.
We're back.
There we go.
It's a live
There
show,
we
people.
go.
We always hit the
There
buffer
we go.
zone. Thanks for staying with us.
We love
If you're
it.
still out there.
But we
love
don't
it.
love it.
We love it, and we don't love the buffer zone. Still figuring that one. That was still a weird one. It's an enigma.
Yep.
But yeah. All right. I think we've talked the Mandalorian Grogu to death. You guys have any other points on that?
Well,
$1 billion. $1
Dan's calling it here. It's getting $1 billion.
billion.
he wants it.
I want $1 billion for Mando.
Well, billion for Mando. We'll see. We'll see. The other thing, I did kind of touch upon it, was that EA games. It sounds like Bob Iger is pulling the plug on EA doing any of the games, or just a lot of Star Wars games in general. Looks like they could be on the way out. Very interesting. I know Star Wars Theory just did a video on it, basically from a behind the scenes person he knows that has a good track record. He said, gave him the information, and how Bob Iger was really smart about it, because they're in a contract. So that was the interesting thing. They're in a contract with these companies, so you can't just break the contract. But what he could do is he kind of built in a back door and made it so that these companies were going to make any money doing these games, which basically forces them to take the out
Interesting.
on the deal. It's just kind of a dirtbag move in some ways, but I mean, it's business though too. And Disney and all their lawyers are going to have some, they're huge. So, but it kind of sucks in some ways, because there could have been some good games coming out in the future.
Oh, for sure.
Is it greed? It feels greedy.
It does. I think he's also trying to not spend as much money. I think they're actually getting out of the deal because they're losing money hand over foot, man. I mean, Disney's lost so much. I forget how much. It was like $1 billion or something like that. They've lost in like the past year or two or something like that. It's crazy how much money they lost. They're going down fast and hard. So I think this is a lot of reactionary stuff. They're like, okay, we need to do this. And they put a bunch of money into Epic Games because I heard what this is also, I believe, what Theory was talking about, because the Unreal Engine 5 is what they really wanted, because they use that also for CGI, not just for games. So that's why they put more into that, and that's why I think they're pulling out of a lot of these other gaming studios. But interesting news. We might not get some of the games that were promised and that they were working on. So
because I heard there was a
knows?
Mando game in the works. I want a Bad
Well, that
Batch
canceled.
game.
Bad Batch would be awesome.
What's going on with Mr. Jar Jar? Is there anything
Right.
there? Or is there
Right. That might be done.
Jedi Survivor #3? But that's not EA. That's Spawn or Respawn or something.
Who?
Jedi Survivor?
No, which is owned by EA.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So actually, that's got me the most nervous is will we get a Jedi Fallen Order or whatever Survivor 3, with Cal Kestis? That's in jeopardy. I don't know if we're going to get that now.
Mm-hmm.
And how they left off the second game, we totally could or should.
I know, and I've seen like the games that Lucasfilm made and the game or LucasArts, and then the games that like EA has made. It's like not even close to the same caliber and consistency and quantity. You know what I mean? Like LucasArts was on fire with their Star Wars games.
Right.
It's almost like they just need to reopen LucasArts or something, or find a sector that just does its own thing.
That's what
away
Mrs.
from-
Minrique said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm surprised Disney doesn't just have its own gaming sector. No pairing with anyone ever.
Yeah, because that's what they used
Yeah.
to do.
Mhm.
And then they would just go through distributors, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
for these games. So,
But KG said, I think they said they will definitely still do Cal's arc.
oh, they better.
Hopefully.
They better. But
Yeah.
who
Nick
knows
wants
at this
more.
point?
Well, that's a moneymaker.
Yeah.
I mean, those games, they cost a lot to make, but they also make a lot of money.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
they,
they
do
do.
them right. I mean, way more than the movies. They can make $1 billion on this Mando movie. It costs them $200 million or more to make it. These games probably cost hundreds of millions to make, but you might make $10 billion on a game.
Yeah, that's what they say. The gaming industry has actually surpassed the movie industry a while back.
Yeah.
Well, like 10x. It's huge.
Yeah.
The gaming industry
Yeah.
worldwide.
Well, and the thing about games for Star Wars especially is the games are what kept Star Wars alive through the dark times of Star Wars, where we weren't getting movies, we weren't getting shows, we weren't getting anything. The only things that we were getting were video games, and they were great during that time. LucasArts was killing it with all the video games, and that's what I think they need to get back to.
Yep.
I think though, I think this shows in a lot of ways that Iger might be, or they might finally be, like realizing they need to make heavy changes now so that they can get things back in order and because a lot of these, who knows, with a lot of these stories or whatever they were working on, they might be hurting the brand more than helping the brand. Sometimes you got to cut off things that are bad for the brand in the long run of Star Wars. So
Yeah, I just saw- go ahead.
Sometimes baby, what's he saying? Sasquatch Gang. Sometimes baby needs a whatever when he can't get his bottle.
yeah. Sometimes you got to spank the baby when he wants his bottle. He can't have it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man,
classic movie right there. If you don't know, who knows that reference?
we know it because it has Mr. Carl Weathers.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. A fantastic one.
What were we saying? Fact checker.
Oh, I think Bob Iger or someone just quoted basically that sometimes you have to cut off stuff that's not working or
Yeah,
something.
he did.
And
Wow.
whoever I saw posted it with an image of like Mickey Mouse. I mean, it was like super
dark.
sad. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, what's going on? What is he actually
Wow.
referring to? But
Well, they're having to
it's
make some.
crazy stuff.
They're definitely having to make some hard decisions right now in
Mhm.
Disney because, well, they've sucked it up for the last however many years,
Yeah.
and they've, just too much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that we could talk about with
Yeah.
that, but we don't need to go into all
Nope.
that right now. But yeah, so that's crazy. There's just a lot. That's the thing about Star Wars right now, and
Mhm.
everything. There's no concrete anything. There's not even a plan for the future that we know of. It's very like in limbo. Star Wars right now, we're the state of Star Wars we're in right now
Yeah.
is very limbo. We have no idea what to expect moving forward because anything could happen at this point. I hope that they're making some changes behind the scenes and they get Star Wars back on track because I still believe that Star Wars could be the most profitable brand IP in the entire world if you do it right. And it's not even that hard. That's the thing that's irritating about it. I mean, saying me, but, running a company, there's a lot. But I think we should get to the question and answer time. Are there any more questions that we should get to?
Yeah, there's just a few.
All right.
So-
Q&A.
Yeah.
Qua.
Yep. So
Qua.
so Sonia asked, "What's your favorite scene from The Mandalorian and Star Wars: The Force Awakens?" Her favorite scene or favorite episode in The Mandalorian is when the Duchess meets Grogu.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we don't like that episode as much.
Wait, the Duchess? Who said that?
Sonia.
Sonia, yeah. I mean that episode has some interesting Dinbo moments in it when they're on their date. But that's cool that you love that. I particularly like the opening episode of Mandalorian. It just has a feel for it. It just, I don't know why I like the beginning or the OG stuff.
Yeah.
The beginning episode when Mando walks into that room and just wrecks shop. It just it tells you all you need to know. And he only says like 10 words, you know. He's a bounty hunter. He's not messing around. He can fight. He can hold his own against a bunch of big dudes.
It's what Boba Fett should have been.
It's what Boba Fett, it's true.
Yeah.
It should have been
Definitely.
Boba Fett. And then what? The first favorite scene from The Force Awakens, Dustin? Do you have a favorite scene from Force Awakens? Force Awakens had
Force
some good
Awakens wasn't actually that bad.
Mhm.
It was just Force Awakens, man.
They teased Luke.
Yeah, I liked seeing Luke. That was probably like my favorite part of the entire movie.
The ending
The ending.
When it was over.
when it was over.
Well, I was kind of mad at that point though, still already, but not like I don't know. I had hope for the future.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when they showed Luke, I think that was my favorite part. Although they should have really brought Luke in a lot earlier. But anyway, we're not gonna.
Yeah,
But that's like my favorite part.
My favorite was when Rey actually was introduced. You know why? Because of the music.
The score. Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
true.
this is in the trailer. It's a really cool scene. We didn't know anything about her. And, you know, we still haven't learned anything about her. I'm just kidding. But the music is just fantastic. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
So good.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's the best part of that entire movie. Though, is the
Yeah.
music, and I do like the X-wings flying over the water as far as like an action sequence. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that was cool.
Nice.
But yeah, Luke showing up. Luke is my favorite character in Star Wars. So I mean,
Makes sense.
although they did him dirty, but that point we
we didn't know it yet.
Well, we kind of did, but
Oh, okay.
it was still not to the extent. They could have turned it around and they would have gone a different direction.
Sure.
All right, what else we got?
Okay, last question from Skylark. Any more video game streams planned? So
Yes.
kind of touched on it. So.
Yeah, we definitely do. So we're just trying to decide between a few, but then we also there's the new one that's coming out here, Battlefront Classic. Yeah, so we're thinking about streaming that one in the future. So to be determined.
Maybe you should go back and finish Jedi Fallen Order
Whoa.
I did. Oh, on the stream.
on the stream.
Man, then we're going way back.
Fallen Order. I mean, it's a continuation.
I don't know if they want to sit and watch through that again, man. If you watched that last stream, I was riding the struggle bus at the end of that. I was really riding the struggle bus.
But you did it, Dustin. That's what we were
did it.
most
We
proud
accomplished
of.
it. Everybody did it. We did it together. And
Yes.
that's
Yeah, and
really happened.
Icy says, don't forget Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, so
When
that
is that
one's-
coming?
That one's still coming, I believe, end of this year. Probably
Okay.
around. I'm thinking around like October, November. I think is
Okay.
when
Nice.
that's slated to drop. So.
Before Christmas, maybe?
Right, and that's being done by oh shoot, who's the ones?
Is that Respawn?
No, that's Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah.
Ubisoft.
Yep.
Yeah, so Ubisoft's doing that one, and that one they've already done announcements and trailers and everything. I don't think they're going to cancel that one at this
Yeah.
point. If they do, that'd be crazy. I don't understand that, but yeah. So
Bismo liked the idea of Jedi Survive or Fallen Order.
Fallen Order doing that one again. Oh,
Again?
man.
I mean, you only have like one video on this channel of it.
Whoa, Dan's calling you out.
Sheesh.
No, is it even on this channel? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. We didn't move
So
it
you'll
to
have
the
to have
laser
Dan
brand.
play it
we
with
edited
you.
it. Yeah, I don't think
God
we did. We
damn.
didn't live stream it. I'd play it from the beginning.
You want to do? Oh, so we're gonna have to start over as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, or
I
pick up from where
100%
we
of that. I did 100% that
Wow.
game though. That's how
So
much
maybe
I, love that
I
game.
should do the playthrough.
Yeah, you should,
I
dude.
haven't done it.
Mhm. You'll
You
get better
should.
at the sticks.
I would get good at the sticks.
You'd
I'd be
get good at the
destroying,
sticks,
and I would
homie.
really enjoy the story. I probably would. But-
That story's really good too. Yeah, for sure. I
so
think
you'll
really
be doing
like that.
Battlefront Classic, and I'll do Jedi Fallen Order.
Sounds good.
Nice.
We'll see who wins.
Wait.
See who finishes first.
Finishes first.
I'll just stay up all night and play. That's
Oh
what I
my
do when I play
goodness.
video games.
The late night streams with
Late
Dan.
streams.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
All right.
Oh, actually, we just got another question.
Oh, whoa.
Another question.
From KG TPM theater plans.
What does TPM stand
I
for?
don't know. She posted it earlier, and I kept trying to figure it out.
Theater plans for
The movie coming out. Right?
yes.
The Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Okay, there it is.
Thank you.
TPM. The Phantom Menace. Yes, we were definitely. That's coming. When is that coming out again?
Isn't it May 4th?
Do we live near where they're going to drop one? I got to look it up.
Get that sooner.
That would be pretty cool to see again in
sad.
theaters.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I want to take my kids to see that movie. At least a few of them to see that movie in theaters. I just think that would be an awesome experience.
Seeing that mall fight on the big screen again,
dude. That's gonna take me way
May
back.
3rd, I guess. Technically May 3rd.
May 3rd, right before May the 4th.
Yeah. Because what's the anniversary? Is that the?
It was originally done 99, I think.
Yeah.
This is the 25th anniversary.
25th anniversary.
We should go to LA, Dustin, and do a meetup. Nobody would meet us.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
It would just be us.
Why would we do it? Why did you jump to that?
I just said it. That doesn't mean it's going to happen.
We have no idea. This is the part of the show where we just go off.
Yes.
I know.
But-
We got to find what theaters they're in.
Yeah,
The
so we're
Phantom
kind of to be
Menace.
determined on what theaters we can get to close enough. But yeah, I definitely want to see that. Is anybody else in the chat or anybody else going to see that movie in theaters? Let us know.
I think so, for sure.
That would be cool if we could watch it with others. That would be absolutely epic.
Deep Dish in Chicago says busy.
Deep Dish, yeah.
And he said, gonna skip my finals.
Skip
Priorities.
to go
Go
watch
see
it. Oh man, he's already making plans.
Right.
Miss Manrique said, I'll meet up with you guys, LOL.
Yeah,
Nice.
that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome to do a fan meetup. We'd love to do that.
I want to go
eventually.
find the what's it coming up pretty soon? The solar eclipse or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
happening. Yep.
That's happening soon.
Oh, yeah. And we leap forward. What do we
Spring
do?
ahead.
Thank
Spring
you.
ahead.
Spring ahead is this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. So check your spring
Local
ahead schedule,
listings.
people.
Yeah.
Your local
Oh,
listings.
Skylar said live theater watch party.
I don't know.
We're like on our phones.
in the theater, people next to look. Come on, guys.
yeah.
That'd be
Turn
hilarious.
down the brightness.
We just need to rent the whole theater out
Oh,
man.
and then do that and do a fan meetup.
I
But
don't
you have to get there.
You got to get to Hoth.
You have to get to Hoth. That's
We
the only
did
way.
rent a theater and watch the original Star Wars
Ooh, we did.
We did. That was really
in
awesome.
our hometown, and that was quite an epic moment. Seeing any of these movies on a big old screen is pretty fantastic.
Fantastic
Mhm.
for sure. Any other questions, fact checker, before we get the heck on out of
I
here?
think that's it.
That's about it. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Well, what a fun time we have had here tonight on Stay on Target, where we do everything but sometimes. But we've had a lot of fun. It's been great. It's been wonderful. Oh, I forgot to announce something. Shoot. Sugar
yes.
honey iced tea. So this is usually the week we do talent on Target, but we were not able to do that this week. But we're going to announce here that we're going to start doing that the first Wednesday of each month. So if you still have talent on Target that you want to submit, we'd still love to see it and we'd still love to showcase it. That is, if you want to do that, submit it to stayontarget.contact@gmail.com and we will showcase it on the next Stay on Target, Talent on Target segment. We love showcasing everybody's talent, but this month, we just weren't able to do it. So get those in, and we'll be doing that. We'll also be having some more Rise of the Fans coming up that we're excited about to show you guys and to watch together.
And there's something special coming on. It's officially March, Dustin.
It is March.
It's the month of the newest thing, Fan Rise. I'm excited. The
Right.
twins.
Ooh, yes, drowning.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes.
I didn't want to spoil the
Wahanda.
title, but
Oh,
it's no.
Sorry.
Drowning. It's the month of drowning. March 31st. We're coming up.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the year anniversary, Dustin, as well of marriage.
Marriage. Yeah, that's coming up, isn't
So
it?
we should celebrate by just
Releasing
putting that.
it
I'm
again.
gonna loop that for 24 hours.
Oh my
and
goodness.
just
No,
go
don't
live
do
on it.
that.
Wow.
Why not?
Oh, man. That'd be crazy. Wow.
But it's
Yeah.
been a great year.
It's been a great year. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy how much things have changed in a year's time. That's the thing. But we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't be able to do it without any of you guys out there. We appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for tuning in, watching our shows, encouraging us, encouraging each other, and keeping Star Wars alive. And, continuing to make it better, because with all of us together, we make Star Wars better. And we can't wait to see Drowning and all your talent out there as well.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys got anything else before we gonk out?
I mean, I think kudos. We pretty much stayed on target tonight.
We
So
did.
That was, a big accomplishment.
Did we really?
I think so. I mean,
I
the
don't
chat can
know.
confirm or deny.
Yeah.
But
I cannot confirm or I plead the fifth.
From my perspective, it's pretty
Lessons tonight. Dustin loves Omega now. And he thinks, no, I'm just kidding.
What?
Bad Batch is the best show ever. No,
No, this is the best Omega we've got.
I know. I'm just being
D, I'm
dramatic.
throwing hate at D.
Yeah, he
I love
doesn't like
Omega.
D.
Oh,
I
my
hate D
goodness.
badly.
He's mad that D. Bradley Baker does all the voices now.
Right. I just found that out tonight.
Right.
No, I did not.
Oh,
But
man.
it's been a great time.
Yeah,
It's been a good
stuff.
time. And Dustin, he's gonna get a dog and name him Batcher.
I will.
Mm-hmm. Bismo said, Dustin, biggest Omega fan,
Oh,
confirmed.
my
Confirmed.
Wow. No. Although if she turns out to be awesome in the end, yes.
Yeah, it's possible. Man.
Hey,
It's
and
still
if it
There's still a
does,
chance.
who called it? I'm just putting that out
fact
there.
checker. It will be a true turnaroround arc.
Hey.
What a moment that will be when the
Yeah.
fact checker says, "I told you all along."
I'm
She's
never
awesome.
wrong.
Checking those facts.
She's only got facts to say here on Stay on Target. Oh my goodness.
Skylark, the bad baker's dozen. Oh man.
Yeah.
So true.
Vice
What
will-
if they show? I always thought it'd be funny. We should do like a spoof of the Bad Batch, but it's like the bad Batch. So they're not like awesome or cool in any way.
They're like out of
just like
shape and
really like actually bad at everything.
well, it was even weird writing in the thumbnail like peak bad batch. It felt weird. I was like, the best bad we ever
Right.
got. It's just funny. It's the
You don't know what's good for
you know,
bad.
that's what it feels like. Oh, man.
Name that reference. That is a great one. Fantastic.
I don't know, but it was a good stream. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So
Yeah.
we should-
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. And tune in next week. We got more coming at you from Stay on Target. Lots more things to come. We're excited to be sharing it all with you. So let's get the gonk out of here, Dan. You just hit the hyperdrive on out of here and play
I will.
that music, white boy.
Funky music.
Oh, funky music.
That's
Sorry.
right.
Play that funky music. white boy. Oh, we're going to get copyright strike.
Maybe.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We love all of you. We'll see you next week. Stay on target.
Gonk out.
Gonk out. No.
So, Dustin, Omega's starting to grow on you, huh?
Like a tumor. It's not a tumor. Yeah.
Perfect.
Gunk out.